America with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.
Oh, what did I do that for? Hello. I'm getting a bad habit here of botching these intros, but how are we doing? Welcome in. Happy Tuesday, the day after Christmas here in El Paso, Texas. I hope you are too blessed to be stressed as I am. I hope you had a great couple days without me. I know it was 2 days. 2 days too many in my opinion, but hey, we're back. We're live. Big up to yourself if you're here right now. Make sure you are hitting that like. Make sure you are hitting a subscribe. I was enjoying some of my Christmas stocking stuffers. Had some caramel corn, was eating that. And then my little... Ooh, these are my kryptonite. Little Haribo Gold Bears. But hey, you know we doing good. I hope you are too. Look at that. Camera's too good. Can't even focus in. We'll figure this out. Hang on. Oh, I know it works. Hang on. Got to get the face. This will work. Camera likes him. Come on now. What kind of intro is this? What kind of intro is this? It's a blurry one. God dang it. This one wasn't my fault, I swear. Now, the other part was definitely my fault. Let me see if I could do this, if it'll... Did I fix it? Nope, sure didn't. This damn camera. Hello. How about there? How about here? How about there? There you go. Follow it. You know what? I don't know what's going on with my camera, y'all. This is a horrible intro. We're done out here. This intro's moving like Manchester United's first half today. If you catch that match from Aston Villa. We're just shapes and colors, guys. We are just shapes and colors. I hate technology sometimes. But Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, everyone, and Happy New Year. God, this camera. Let me give it a little... Is that better? No? God, I hate this thing, man. What are we doing here? I'm trying to run a show. There you go. Follow the face. Here we go. Hey, there we are. Golly. Golly. Don't ever buy your webcam off Amazon, fuckers. Ah, shit. We're 5 minutes. Less than 5 minutes. I already dropped the F-bomb. Oh, well, we move. We figured it out. How's everyone doing? Merry Christmas. There's a poll in the chat. If you didn't know, you probably already knew, but big up, everyone. How are you doing today? I just wanted to ask a general question. Obviously, it is Boxing Day. There is a bunch of things going on, so to speak. But in the hustle and bustle, I think sometimes some people, feel festive. Some don't feel festive. But I hope you had a beautiful holiday. I hope you're having a great day today. And if not, look, we're about to close out the calendar year. And I hope you end it in the best way possible for you. But look, let me say what's up to the chat. That was a horrible intro. I mean, I've been making top 3 intro, like worst intros, and that's got to be up there. But Chewy is here. Chewy did make the show. Chewy, say hi. Half of my lights are unplugged. Oh my God. We're just falling apart here on the show. I knew my lights looked off. Hang on. There we go. I knew the lights looked off. I fixed them. Look, there's more light. Now you can see Chewy a little bit better. All right. See what happens? You take a couple days off of streaming, and then next thing you know, everything is all messed up. But big up Adrian Schroka. You get the first place prize today. In Spurs GCTV, you get the second place prize today. First place prize for the YouTube chat members. But the poll today is just a general question. How are you doing? 49% checking in right now says immaculate vibes as always. 25% says too blessed to be stressed, and that's 75% of y'all feeling the love right now. And 22% says I've been better, but we never stop. Look, life never stops, no matter how you're feeling, and I know that, my friend. And 3% says not great, but I could use some hugs. Hey, man, I know I'm not there physically, but I'll give you a virtual hug. I got you. Come here. Hopefully this don't throw off my damn camera, but it's worth it if we get a hug. So there you go. Big hug for you. Big hug for Chippy with the €50 dono. Big up, Chippy. Says, buy Chewy a few bones. You know, he ate sausage yesterday. He had egg yesterday. He was living good. He was feeling the festives. But big up, Chippy. See, there goes my camera. I give out one hug, and then my camera start acting funny. What's going on? See how it's all blurry? Man, I need to buy a new camera. That's what we got to do. I don't know why this camera don't like my face. It only likes this face. Can you... If I just put it on my face like this, will it stay focused? If I just keep it like this? I hate this camera. But hey, maybe after I buy Chewy a few bones, I'll upgrade this damn camera. Because it don't like me today, man. This is awful. This is awful. Oh, it's really throwing me off. Sorry about that, y'all. Chippy, thank you so much as well for... This isn't even your first donation. You've given quite a few donations. Big up, Chippy. I appreciate that, my friend. I'm going to leave that up because that's a beautiful color super chat. You don't get many 50s, and when you do, you got to let them sink in just a little bit. So big up for that 50 bones. Appreciate that, my friend. Let me see who else is here in the chat. I see Cursor, Hypo Noise. How you doing? Big up Peter Aga as well. Says, good evening, Jacob. Happy Christmas. If we get 3 points against Brighton, we are up there. If we get 3 points against Brighton, hello, Aston Villa. How you doing? We may be able to jump them again in the table. Look, this camera business has got me all type of screwed up and messed up. And I ain't talking H-Town chopped and screwed now. I'm talking, this is just bugging me out. But what ain't bugging me out, oh my God, how long has he been there? Did he just join? What happened here? I've got a beautiful person in the back. Oh my God, I can't wait. What a delightful surprise. It may still be Christmas because I am being blessed right now. And you're about to be blessed. So let me bring on none other than just someone who you can't help but when you say his name, end it with a big old smile. And that is the one and only Akuva. Big up, buddy.
How's it going, mate?
How you doing? You feeling okay? That's my first question for you.
I'm really hungover. I'm really badly hungover, I have to admit. I don't usually drink, but yesterday I thought, kids are at their mum's. I've got a lot of mulled wine and other things. So I enjoyed myself, but now I'm I wasn't going to come on, but I looked at the way you were blurring everything and I thought, that's my hangover stream.
I started the whole show by being like, first of all, I was sharing my Twitter and it was big. You know how I do like when I'm solo, I have like small me and the big Twitter. And that didn't work out too well. That's how I started the show. And then the camera went out of focus because I showed the Haribo. But you know what? Kuva, I would have loved to see you toasted last night. But hey, sounds like you enjoyed the holidays. That was going to be my follow-up question.
I'm a little bit worried because I was on Kate's show, just a girl who loves Spurs, and we're just doing the Christmas sort of festive thing. I'm a little bit worried because I can't actually remember any of the show whatsoever. It's usually a bad sign when you have a few drinks. So nobody's called me up and said, "Oh my God, what did you do?" So. That's
well, the good news though, Kuva, is you can go find it, and it's out there on the internet right now, so you know how you acted at least. I think sometimes if you didn't do it on stream, hey, it's their word against yours. So, but on stream,
right.
Everyone gets a good piece.
I can always unplug everything and pretend it didn't happen.
Hey, big up Chippy with the second super chat, a hot pink and an orange. Feeling very nice today from Chippy. Says this one's for Kuva's mulled wine.
Oh yeah,
I don't actually know what mulled. Yeah. I don't know what mulled wine is.
Red wine, bit of nutmeg, bit of cinnamon. It's just like gently spiced. It's like
is it spiced already in the bottle, or you pour it and then you spice it?
Either way. I mean, I had some that was given to me pre-spiced in a bottle. It was quite nice, but cool. I like making it from scratch here, red wine, and then add the spices myself, and then you warm it up, so it's just like a nice warm, right the way through the day drink. Well, it was right the way through the day for me, unfortunately. That was that's where I went wrong, I think.
No, I think you went right, my friend. You went right, not wrong.
Not when I get to the point where I think I'll have another mulled wine and I can no longer be bothered to warm it up. And I'm drinking it out of the bottle. I thought, perhaps that's not quite so classy, is it? It's not. It's you've kind of lost the Christmas theme there a little.
Aesthetically, no, I think it keeps the Christmas theme. Hey, you know what's better than after you open some gifts, the kids are all playing with their new stuff, and everyone's occupied. Go in the kitchen and chug yourself the bottle. Why not? Going in there and chug the bottle. Why not?
Hammered in secret. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So, how was your Christmas then? Are we having a little insight there into what happened at the Jacob household?
Oh no, my wife and I, we kept it low key. Opened some gifts with my son. My wife and I kind of slacked on getting each other gifts. We've gotten each other gifts before Christmas, and then now after Christmas. It's an auspicious day or time of year for me, because my wife's birthday is when we play Bournemouth, which is New Year's Eve. So my wife's birthday is New Year's Eve, which is a week after Christmas. So I've really got kind of a double whammy right there, really close together. So I got to try and get creative with it, and that's how. But needless to say, the day was absolutely amazing. My wife and I also watched Krampus, a nice Christmas holiday movie. If you ever seen it, it's pretty funny. I know it's meant to be kind of a horror movie, but
is that Jim Carrey in that one?
No, Krampus. That is a Toni Collette is in it. Very, very great actress, Toni Collette.
I know the name. I can't think of the face. I'll look it up.
I think she was in Soprano. No, I'm not. I'm getting her mixed up with something else. But she was in Hereditary. If you saw that movie Hereditary recently.
Right. Yeah, I know the one.
She's the mother in Hereditary. Yeah. That's
nice. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So she's in it, and then one of the guys from Parks and Rec. Anyway, we watched that. It's basically there's like Santa, right? And then it's like if you're a bad kid, here comes Krampus, and it's like this old European folk tale that if you're bad, like Krampus comes and basically fucks shit up, and then leaves a kid behind. Like takes all the families in the neighborhood of bad people, and then leaves one person behind as like a beacon, right? That's kind of like the whole shtick.
So
we watched it.
I'll watch that. Yeah.
Kind of fun. Krampus with a K. A little interesting there. Big up Tracy with the third super chat of the day. Well, not her third, but her first, but the third for the show. Big up, y'all. I appreciate blessing me after Christmas. Tracy says, big up Jacob and Kuva, the Christmas miracle at Old Trafford. Hope you both had an awesome Christmas. Did you get a chance to watch the comeback of maybe Ten Hag's tenure? The Ten Hag comeback of the 10. I'm trying to come up with
I must admit, I've started following Leicester, how they're doing since they went down into the Championship. So I was watching that at first, but it sounded kind of fun. United 2-0 down to Villa. So I thought I'll tune in. Because it's either it's going to go one of two ways, isn't it? It's either the great comeback or the absolute annihilation and home fans going crazy. So I thought it's got to be entertainment one way or the other. And it was crazy. Certainly got no fear of Aston Villa challenging for anything this season based on that second half performance. But there's a bit of life in Man United yet by the looks of it.
You know what? I like it. I'm glad because it just makes things more interesting. And I saw one of the questions come in before my technology really shit the bed on me, said, is a United win a good thing or a bad thing for us? And, I was kind of thinking, I was like, I don't really know. But United now are in sixth place with 31 points, effectively 5 points behind us still with that win. So, but what that does with Aston Villa, now we're 3 points behind Villa. Yeah. Now with a win, and if we win, I think our goal difference, they're at 15 and we're at 14. So if we win 2-0 versus Brighton, not saying that's my prediction, by the way, but if we do win 2-0 versus Brighton, by the end of the week, we're going to third. We're going to third.
It's a psychological thing, isn't it? Because it's going to affect Villa as well. You don't shrug off these games where you're 2-0 up and then throw it away. That has some lasting damage, especially since Villa aren't all that good away from home anyway. So I think that might just put a bit of a dampener on the rest of their season. You never know. But United, I don't think they're suddenly a great team. What they did have was a great second half. I really like that Garnacho kid. I think he's always offering something for their team.
That's the thing is the first time I saw him, I was like, my first thought was like a little lightning bolt, spark of electricity. Like this kid's got something in those boots. And then of course he had that world-class goal, that overhead kick, bicycle kick. I mean, far post. I mean, I don't know you ever hit another goal like that in your life, let alone the training ground.
True.
But there is something special about that little kid. And, kind of seeing him in a different role today, you can see him really cutting in on he started at the right wing, I think it was. And so he liked to cut in on his left a lot and then set himself up on the right. Very creative little player there. But I did enjoy it. Was a fun game. 5 goals. How can you not enjoy it? And then, Kuva, I don't know how much you are on the Twitterverse, but there is this guy. There is a guy that his name is Sean Mills. He's an Australian singer of some kind. Basically, people said that he came out with a song, and so he has like this song where he's like singing. And when Højlund was like not scoring any goals, people would be like, "Here's his highlight reel from that said game," and it was like this guy Sean Mills singing a song about "I'm waiting for a miracle to come," and then eventually he found out that he was viral on football Twitter, so. Kuva, this guy found out he's famous, and he's like, oh, okay, I look like this guy Højlund, right? So then he bought a Manchester United kit, and now he's on a training ground, and he's like, come on, Højlund, I believe in you, like the miracle goal is coming. And I was telling all my Manchester United fans, like Staffy, I was like, bro, Højlund's scoring today because of Sean Mills. That guy put him on, and Sean Mills will help him score. What do you know? Højlund opens his campaign, so it's kind of fun.
Højlund still didn't look very good to me. It's
really. I feel like it's a little bit of the system is letting him down as well. Like I think there was a stat that I remember reading. He had only been pat from Bruno Fernandes, however you say his name. Look at that, hit a like button. Bruno Fernandes. Anthony and Rashford, they had all combined passed it to him like 11 times in like 600 minutes of foot. That is absurd. That Richarlison get more service than that.
Makes it sounds like they're the problem, but I was watching him quite closely today, and when he makes a run into the box, he does not find space. He just there was a couple of occasions where he's just stood next to the defender. There's no way you can pick him out in that kind of position. You look at the alternative, what's happened with Richarlison's sudden resurgence. He's actually finding ways to step back, find that yard of space off the defender, make the run early to the near post, get some room. He's putting the ball away because he's in the right place and it arrives. With Højlund, you're seeing the opposite. He marks himself out of the game. I think he's a very long way off being a good player.
Oh, interesting.
Just a observation, I think.
I mean, to make the jump
on the other hand, he's got a bundle of everything.
To make the jump, Kuva, from Copenhagen to Manchester United, 70 million. All eyes on you. This is the club where the goalkeeper drops his keys in the parking lot, and that makes headlines. Goalkeeper can't even handle his own keys. How can he handle the pressure? And it's like, I feel a little bit bad for the kid. He's a young kid, but that is quite a jump, right? From Copenhagen.
That's what's going for him, isn't it? He's just 20, I think he is. So they might get a bit of striking. They're going to be coaching him, haven't they? I mean, can't just think he just turns up and he's told to just do whatever you want. They're going to work on him finding positions, taking up better, making better runs to receive the ball. It's got to kick in at some point, but I mean, he went 1,000 minutes without scoring. He's going to be low on confidence. Perhaps they'll discover a player in time, but right now, I'm far from convinced.
That's right. It was Atalanta. His brother's at Copenhagen. He was at Atalanta, but before he was at Copenhagen, I think it was. But yeah, very, very astute correction there. Thank you, Daniel E. He was playing in Italy before he went to Man United. Yeah. So not as big of a jump. Maybe he should be contributing more. I don't know. It's a little interesting. I just remember hearing that stat, and I was like, I don't watch every United game like a tactician, like Pep Guardiola would watch, like, oh, what are they doing here? I just I watch it, and also live my life. And then like I'm like, oh, I have an earbud in and I'm listening to it and I'm watching. And so as far as Højlund and all these matches, it could be his fault as well that he's not getting into dangerous spaces and he doesn't know necessarily where to make those runs, Kuva, because there was a moment where the announcer was also saying that if you look before they had scored a single goal, when everything was looking bad for United, they were saying how Højlund is up top gesturing to Ten Hag like, what am I supposed to do when we don't have the ball? Where am I supposed to run? Am I supposed to press this guy, that guy? Where am I pressing? Yeah. And it just seems like maybe he's not completely getting it. But look, the guy got a goal. Maybe that will help pad things over for him. But
yeah, and end of the day, striker getting a goal has to be a positive, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, like Richarlison, by the way, what is that, 4 goals in 3 games?
It's quite good, really, isn't it?
That's an all-right return, you ask me.
Yeah. What annoys me with Richarlison is he started that little run of goals literally just the match after I'd given up on him. I thought, no, he's just not going to do it. We better get rid of him. Then the goals start coming. So if I say keep saying he's rubbish and he can't do it, he should score a few more now.
Well, actually, you know what? I think I like this profile. When I saw Højlund as a striker, I was like, granted, I didn't watch Atalanta, which shout out Atalanta for Christian Romero, because without them helping mold him into the Serie A Defender of the Year, we would have never got that guy. So big up to Atalanta for that. Big up everyone in the chat. I know I skipped some of y'all, but honestly, I didn't mean to. It's my technology's let me down. So big up everyone in the chat. I'll make sure to say hi as I see y'all. Big up Mile High Hotspur every single time. LFC Aaron Ozon's here. Are you surprised by any of today's results? Good question. I do want to also try and delve more into talking about Premier League in total, not just Tottenham Hotspur. But for me, the results, what was it? Newcastle Forest, that was quite surprising. 4-1, I think it was. No, 3-1.
3-1, yeah.
3-1. Bournemouth is our next opponent, and I think I had starred somewhere. Bournemouth, I think it's 6 wins in the last 7 matches in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Their form is absolutely outstanding right now.
So
it could be a little bit of a tricky
really good to watch as well. They play some great football. There's some bit of everything with Bournemouth at the moment. And Solanke, who was always scrutinised, really heavily. There were that big doubts about him when he first arrived because he couldn't score to save his life. Then he added bits to his game, made himself a better all-round player. Now he's got a bit of confidence. The goals are coming too. He's a real threat. Good with his feet and good in the air. So fair play to him. He's kept plugging away. They've shown a bit of faith in him, kept picking him, and he's delivering now. Bournemouth are a dangerous team now.
And all of a sudden he starts bagging goals. Guess who's linking with him now? Tottenham Hotspurs now. Oh, Tottenham Hotspur are monitoring the situation surrounding Dominic Solanke.
It's monitoring.
We're monitoring, are interested in having internal discussions about, etc.
I've made a preliminary think about maybe doing something.
January is around the corner when they're using this kind of this verbiage, right? They're like, we are highly monitoring the situation and considering all options, exploring the outcomes of such thought processes surrounding this player's agent. And it's like, bro, just say we are or we aren't.
Bit of honesty from some of these tipsters and pundits sometimes. Just go, Tottenham haven't said jack, so I'm just going to throw a few names out there. That would be all right. I could respect that.
Yeah. Big up Chippy, says he won 500 quid on Bournemouth. Wow. Very nice bet. And hey, maybe that's why you came in here and you blessed me as well. So big up Bournemouth, leading to blessings all around. Blessings in disguise. Big up Chippy. Appreciate your generosity as well. Yeah, nice one. Sharing the luck. Oh, here we go. Another one. Chippy. Hey, Chippy's chipping in to the donation. Says, for Mia, more mulled wine and Solpadine. What is Solpadine?
Didn't they make the Terminator?
I guess I'm going to have to Google it. He did super chat, so I'm going to have to giggle. What is this? Solpadine?
It's got to be a painkiller. Ends in "-ine".
It's a pain relief tablet and painkiller. Yep. You were right. Big up
Anything that
Chippy,
ends in
third.
ein or een, it's a painkiller. Red ween, white ween. No, sorry.
See, Kuva, you were like, I'm too hungover. I don't know if I can make it. And look at you. You're still witty. You still got it, man.
Getting back into my zone. The paracetamol's kicking in a little bit now. The headache's going. By the way,
nice.
your intro nearly killed me. I was lying on my side in bed. I thought, I'll watch Jacobs. I'm too ill to come on. I can't do it. But then, bam, bam, bam. Oh, Jesus Christ. That forced me to get up, turn the volume down, and go and get the paracetamol. You know what? 10 minutes later, I'm on stream. So
you know what? They say sometimes you can make mistakes and fumble yourself into a good situation. Because think about it. If I had nailed the intro, it had been one of my top 5 best intros and everything. But you've been like, I think Jacob's okay without me. I'll just relax and let him do his show. But I had such a bad performance in the beginning of the half. You changed the tactics and you switched it around. Look, we're having a hell of a show. So I appreciate that.
You've pulled the team together through incompetence and cruelty.
I love to see it. Big up Chippy for his third super chat today. I will big up all the super chatters, but it's just the 2 of you. So big up Chippy 3 times. 3 times is nice. There are over 100 of you all over all 3 platforms. So make sure you are hitting a like and subscribe wherever you are. Last time I looked, there was like 15 likes on the video and 90 people. Now we have over 100 and we have 46 likes. So I want to move like Richarlison's form. Let's move like Bournemouth's form lately. Let's get those likes up. But you don't have to if you don't want to. I know it could be a lot of pressure, especially if you have a bad headache. Speaking of headaches, Kuva, I had a really bad headache Christmas morning. I woke up and it was one of those I had eaten too much sugar the night before. Do you ever do that when you eat too much bad stuff before you go to bed? And then I wake up with a headache and sometimes I get really nauseous from it. And I was struggling yesterday morning. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I'm diabetic, so I definitely have bad nights if I have too much sugar. I don't get it as bad as some like type 1 diabetes, but type 2 is pretty bad. You've got to watch your diet a lot more. So I think mulled wine yesterday was not a good move. But, you got to roll the dice sometimes. Yeah, I know what you mean, though. Sometimes you can just... You get a false hangover from just eating bad crap all day. It's like,
yeah, I don't even drink, and I had a really bad hangover Christmas morning, so it's pretty bad.
Too much sugar is never a good thing.
But in the moment, it is. In the moment, it feels so good. But you're right.
When you're about 6 years old or something, yeah.
Not to show it again because it did fuck up my camera last time I showed it. But I was munching on these Haribo gummy bears. I don't know if you ever had these.
Yeah, okay. I'll forgive you.
Oh, they're my kryptonite, my friend. But I shouldn't be eating candy because my teeth aren't in great condition because I've been eating candy my whole life. So, but regardless of Christmas festivities, I hope everyone is good. Don't eat too much candy. Don't wake up with a headache like me. But big up to everyone in the house. Obviously, there are some things that I do want to pull up and talk about as per usual, y'all. So let's go through it. Let me pull up the right tab if I have this. Here we go. Here we go, Kuva. There's Longley. He helped this man to get his own goal. And I thought that was, you know what? What a guy. And I was seeing at halftime people tweeting, we should have never let Longley go. Look at how good Longley's been and this and that. And I was sitting there thinking, like, I think Longley's a fraud. I think you get good 45 minutes out of Longley, and all of a sudden you're thinking, oh, Clementine could be a good defender. That is false. I've seen enough minutes of him to know he's a French Dyer. He is Dyer with a little French mustache. He ain't fooling me with his little disguise. Is Dyer dressing up as a French guy with a fucking one of them hats? And
I used to say it was French Ben Davis, but I think Ben Davis is better.
Ben Davis is way more agile, and he ain't the most agile, but he's way more agile than watching Longley turn is so. Little anecdote, Kuva. Watching Longley turn reminds me of how I navigate through the hallways of my apartment with my son's table every morning because I set him up in the room and then in the living room, and so I'm moving this table in the way. I turn real slow because I'm not trying to repaint these walls. Hey, I ain't trying to repaint these walls when I leave. But look, Long lay to me. I thought it was funny. I saw his face on the timeline. Thought I would start and bring up the fact. Do you think we missed an opportunity there by not retaining the services of this French baguette eater?
Nah. Let's face it, he would have just been filling in when people are injured, wouldn't they? So why pay up huge wages for that? No, I didn't see anything in him worth keeping. We should be doing a lot better. Look at who we did go and sign. We signed Mickey van der Ven. I mean, that's the kind of player we want to be getting. Long
Absolutely spot on.
Long gone.
Long gone. Long lay. You know, he did do a dentist ad recently. It was a pretty cheesy commercial, but hey, get that bag, my friend. Go and get that bag. Also, I saw this. I don't know. I didn't put his name in the title because I don't want to just like keep going on and on about it. But according to Ben Jacobs, our new center back is a clear priority for Spurs in January, but that Mr. Jean-Claire Todibo may not be moving in January. Nice would probably wait till summer to do more of a deal because they are currently second right now in the league. And they are second behind PSG. I think they're 4 points behind. And if they sold a French national team starter halfway through the season while they're in second, you can imagine there might be some upset fans. Do you see that as a possibility in regards to Mr. Todibo, that we couldn't get him because of either this Sir Jim Ratcliffe thing taking over, that they're going to want to get him, or B, that Nice simply won't work with us? They're probably not going to want to sell to us in January.
I have no idea. It's pure speculation, isn't it? Gut feeling is a little bit of both, maybe.
Okay.
I will say that, you know, a few years back, I used to be really up to date. Can't even think. Alcohol, stop it, go away. You've had your day. A few years ago, I used to be up to speed on European football. I'll be watching different leagues. I'd know the players really well. Nowadays, I've kind of not stopped doing it. I don't really know much about this bloke. I've heard the name mentioned. I've seen a couple of videos, but, you know, you can get a highlight reel of anybody. Even Eric Dyer can have a highlight reel. Only 2 seconds, but, I mean, it's still a highlight, isn't it? So I have no idea what's going on here. If we get him, fair enough. Let's see what he can do. Otherwise, just all up in the air. I wouldn't even bank on us signing anybody in January, let alone pick out which ones we're going to get. So for me, it's always been about the long rebuild in the summer anyway, because that's when we're talking about Big Ange being here to build the team. That's not going to get done in a January window. It's the summer. That's when you really see things starting to take shape. So I'm kind of laid back about it. If we get somebody in, if it's this bloke and he seems reasonable, that's cool. If not, it doesn't concern me. I'm more interested in seeing Van der Ven and Maddison back in training. I think that's the bigger impact we'll have on anything. Because let's face it, we get another defender in and Van der Ven's fit again. The new defender we got in isn't going to be playing. So what's the big deal?
Yeah. But, you know, they say iron sharpens iron. I would believe it to be as such. Him being there may make Romero play a little bit smarter. Maybe,
maybe.
I don't know. I can see it as,
as
a player.
If Dyer is going out, then hell yeah, let's get any replacement in. I mean, I haven't even seen this bloke playing, but he's got to be better than Dyer.
That's not very hard to do, Kuva.
No,
so
it's not,
we'll
is
say,
it? So
we'll say that way. Hey, big up David Shearer.
Some players, you can set the bar quite low.
Big up David Shearer, gifted 5 United Spurs of America memberships. Big up David Shearer. Happy holidays, my friend. I hope it's been a great one for you. Let's see who got those. Let's see who got those memberships. Ash P, CJ AFC, Carefree Chloe, Mitchell D, and Sam. Congratulations and welcome to the family, every single one of you. Hope you're doing well. And David Shearer, thank you so much for the financial donation to the channel. I appreciate that. You're making it as so more people can call in when I do that next membership call-in show. That was a lot of fun. Had a little members hangout, Kuva, with everybody. That was a lot of fun. So Big up everybody for that. David Shear, thank you for gifting those 5 membos. Thank you so much. Let me see. There was something else I wanted to share with you. I saw this, and it made me clinch up a little bit. Like, what is this? April Fool's Day? What is this? Why is this even being talked about? So I'm going to share this with you, Kuva, and let's see how you feel about it. Talk Sport today discussing...
No way.
Jamie O'Hara and Ray Parlour debate Gareth Southgate's something with Tottenham.
No, I don't care what it is. I would actually stop watching Spurs
if we went from Ainge to Gareth Southgate. I would stop watching Spurs.
I literally wouldn't even want this bloke delivering a pizza. It's no, just keep away.
What is this? Are they just trying to get clicks? Bro, we're in the middle of the season. You don't need to do this for clicks. Why is this even being discussed?
I don't know. Have they got the dates mixed up? I think it's like 1st of April.
Adam Phillips says O'Hara said he didn't want him. Clickbait title. I fell for it. That's what I'm saying. I saw this on the timeline. I was like, what is this? Why would we ever even think? What? It was so confusing. I was like, is this an old article? Is this an old video that someone just redug up and like...
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But it's not. It was like yesterday.
Yeah, but you can always repost something or hash something together that was really... But
most football content is not...
yeah.
Most football content's not evergreen though, Kuva. So
it's purely to get the kind of reaction we've had to it, isn't it? It can't be anything else.
Yeah, it has to be. Crazy talk.
That's just like shooting yourself in the foot. That'll be like sucking on the end of a cannon and letting rip with one of them.
Yeah. Look at some of the responses. I want you to see some of the responses. I would actually end it all. Why is this even being spoken about? Bruh, I would. Yeah. He says, I would rather have Ryan Mason's 6-year-old kid. Southgate wouldn't get a job with a top 6 team. I'm sure we already have someone cleaning the toilets. Must be a slow news day. Yeah. But I saw it and was like, man, what the hell is this? You know, why is this even being talked about? I never want to see Southgate and then 2 words later that next word be Tottenham Hotspur. I just don't want to see that personally. I don't think we need that around here. Big up Becky. How you doing? Hi, Becky. Big up Hyper Noise. Says, I heard it live and they were talking about would Southgate get a job with a top 6 club. Okay. So I was wondering how they segued into this. But there it is. I couldn't be asked to click it. I couldn't be asked to go watch it. I didn't want to give it any amount of attention personally. Because then they'd be like, oh, look, someone in Texas is watching it. Therefore, this was worth our time. Hell no. Big up, Nita.
I think he'd struggle to get a job at a top 6 club in most countries. I just don't see anything there.
Bro, he's so bad. He has such a talented squad, and he does nothing with it. He couldn't beat USA. He couldn't beat us. We were unbeatable. How is Harry Kane getting locked up by Tim Ream? I'll never know. I will never know. But hey, we're there. Speaking of we're there, guess who's here, Kuva? I'll give you 2 guesses. We've got a guess in the back.
Do they live in Australia?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it narrows it down, doesn't it? You thought it was going to be Paul, didn't you? You thought it was going to be Hotspur Hippie. Gotcha. Gotcha, Kuva.
We're not going to have a surprise visit from Mikey, are we?
No, I wish. That'd be a Christmas miracle, man.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Let's see. Are you going to go really left field and it's going to be like a TJ or someone like that?
No, not American. He is in London, to my knowledge. He goes to games. You know him and you love him.
Is it Mr. Box Office by any chance?
It is Mr. Box Office. That is correct.
Indeed. Big up,
Alex. How you doing, my friend?
Firstly, let's do it right. Merry Christmas, everybody. Everybody that all holidays that everybody celebrate. Anybody that celebrates all holidays, and that's it. Big up Jacob. Big up Kuva. like I said, every single time, and that's it. Yeah.
Merry Christmas, bro.
Mr. Box Office back in the building, like they say every single time. Alive and kicking, like I've always. Not an Ange fan, like I always said, every single time, and that's it. Keeping to the structure and everything else, and that's it. And ready to speak about some things that have happened today. You know what I mean? And again, yeah, I mean, I think I'm a Mystic Meg. They should call me Mystic Meg, because I'm you know what? I'm proving my point about why I'm not an Ange fan, and all I need to say is Newcastle United. Because what were they saying? Newcastle United with Eddie Howe last season. They're all
Bro,
bored.
2 weeks ago, Alex, 2 weeks ago, I had a Newcastle. I was on stream, and you know how I've been going around doing these bigger 6 streams. I was on a stream with a Newcastle fan. I'm not gonna name him because I don't even want you to click his stuff. But he tried to tell me that Newcastle deserved to be in our spot in the Big Six. That we shouldn't be allowed. That it should be Newcastle. And I was like, bro, you've had one good season with your manager, and you're talking about we shouldn't be in the big. He's like, oh, yeah. He does the whole 16-year-old argument on Twitter. What a trophy. Wore a trophy. Where's your trophies? And it's just like, bro, I mean, I don't usually.
Between Newcastle and Tottenham, by the way, what is the difference between Newcastle and Tottenham? Oh, we've won a trophy recently in 2008. That's it. But then look,
I would
at
say our
what's going
stadium
on with
could
Eddie
hold
Howe.
about double or 3 times as
Look
many.
at what's happening with Eddie Howe. Like I said before, yeah, right?
We've also got the
He was
most
flavour of
American
the month
supporters
last
clubs out of
season.
any club.
He's flavour of the month last season. Everyone said, oh, we got it wrong with Eddie Howe. Now you're hearing people saying they want to sack him. Yeah, that can quite easily be Tottenham next season. And Postecoglou. And no one's arguing with me right now, because look at Ten Hag right now. Yeah, this is the point I make. Yeah, because I know my football. Yeah, I ain't stupid. Yeah, football's changed now. Yeah, right. And I'll tell you right now. And by
I
the
think it
way,
changes
yeah.
weekly.
And by the way, yeah, right. I know I'm talking sense because we've already had somebody trying to get one of our coaching staff already. Yeah, we've already had it. So before anybody else starts saying, and I don't really care because I'm Mr. Box Office, and if you don't know, you should have got to know already. Kuva knows me already, you know what I mean? He already knows Alex, because you're only going to get Mr. Box Office on streams because that's what you deserve. Yeah, you don't deserve Alex. Alex is too nice. Yeah?
Who are you talking to?
You know
Who
what I
are
mean?
you talking to, Alex?
Alex,
Who don't deserve Alex?
You
came
don't,
in here, you
no,
said
people
Merry
don't
Christmas.
deserve Alex.
No,
Yeah,
we don't deserve
Jacob's already
Alex.
been introduced to Alex. Yeah, people know Alex. Yeah, they know, but they know he's a nice person. Mr. Box Office, a ruthless person. Yeah, and you're only gonna get him. And that's it. Yeah, so you just get to know that, and that's it. Yeah, so I proved my point. So like I said before, I am waiting for the time until this club back this guy when the adversity against us, because as far as I'm concerned, could be Tottenham all day long and every single day, and that's it. Yeah. Another thing as well. Sorry, before I pass it back to you, Jacob, with respect to you, thank you for having you on your show. We've been linked with a top striker. I've been told a top striker, the above average Højlund. I've been told, yeah, Dominic Solanke, who couldn't hit a darn ball last season. I was told. You know what I mean? Again, shows you how reactive we are at the moment. The guy's now doing so much good form right now because they play the system that he wanted to do. Remember when we was at Liverpool, he couldn't hit a barn door. But now, all of a sudden now, after a few goals, oh, he's the best striker in the world now. He's a top striker. He's an English striker, so English tax. Honestly, this is what the Premier is all about. Reactionary. And that's it. And this is Mr. Box Office being the truth, and that's it. Yeah, because I'm an old school guy from the 90s. Yeah, old school throwback from the 90s. This is like it's always is every single time. Like I say, like they sing like this every single time. Back to life, back to reality. That's what it's called every single time, and that's it. And back to you, Jake, and I'm done.
Let me get this right. So you're saying because Newcastle got packed by Forest, that has something to do with Ange Postecoglou?
Pardon?
So I'm just trying to understand. You said you opened it by saying this is why I hate Ange Postecoglou, because of what happened with Eddie Howe today. And so I'm curious what a Newcastle result has to do with what Ange is doing with us.
What I'm saying is, at the moment, when Eddie Howe came into Newcastle, right? There was no expectations for him last season. Yeah, he over achieved last season. Yeah, getting top four. Right now, the expectations are now up now. Yeah, even though I've heard from Steve and he said, you know what, Steve, Transport Steve, he said, I'm not. I said sixth this season because I'm not too sure. Right, but now expectations are up now. Right, okay. Now you've got to do better than last season. Now they're suffering at the moment, yeah? Okay. Now that you're looking at Newcastle now, they're suffering from form now. And you're hearing now noises of people wanting Howe out. They say they can't get into the next level. Can't
Yeah,
get
I saw
Newcastle to the next level.
Apollo Keefe tweeted about it. He said something, Eddie Howe's lucky the manager pool is very limited. And I thought that was strange. I thought that's kind of weird. This guy's gotten them to a point in which, when was the last time they had Champions League football? Because before Eddie Howe got there, they were scraping the bottom, just trying to survive. So for me, I find it a little interesting. But again, I see it completely different. Like their big signing of the summer is suspended now because of gambling in Tonali. And so then they started getting injuries. They're playing a 17-year-old Lewis Miley. And I mean, for all intents and purposes, he actually looks pretty decent. But to be in a position where you're like that, clearly something's not going according to plan. And I heard some of the quotes that came out from there. They said, is this a problem you're going to fix in the market, or is this a problem you have to fix internally? And he said it's internal. He said it's not that I need reinforcements, it's that I need to fix. And so again, I think with Eddie Howe, much like with Ainge, whenever we're faced with adversity and drops in form, I think rivals, pundits, everyone's quick to say, oh, Eddie Howe, you ain't doing this, you ain't doing. I mean, look at with Ainge Postecoglou when we got our first loss, when we had one draw in 5 matches, people were going ballistic about Ainge and, oh, he needs to do this different and he needs this substitute different. And to me, I've always just felt like I know that there's going to be growing pains. Newcastle's going through those growing pains. I think if we made Champions League football this year, next year, we're going to look just like that with growing pains. But that doesn't mean that Newcastle are done and dusted just because Forrest had that new manager bounce. Shout out Nuno Espirito Santos, because that guy went and got his first dub as Nottingham Forest manager. So
but my point is, though,
we're going to make you proud.
My point is, though, Jacob, that it's been so. My point since June, yeah. And by the way, even though I say what I say about Ange, I've backed him through certain things, and you know this, yeah, because I've come on your show and said certain games and certain things he's done. I've backed him for it. You know what I mean? Even though I'm not all for him. So you know what I mean? I'm not here being big-headed because I'm not being deluded because I love the manager. No, I'm not. But I'm being neutral because I'm sitting there saying, as a Tottenham fan, I know what my club is like, yeah? And what I'm saying is, if Tottenham Hotspur are so on the ball with this guy, right, they will stick with him hook by crook, like what's going on in Newcastle at the moment. And until that moment, I cannot get on board with this guy at the moment. I've got to still keep neutral on it. And that's it. Because I know, personally, in my heart, yeah, I need to see it for myself. Yeah, I need evidence. Yeah,
I think that's fair. I've always told you he'll prove it over time. And what he won me over with just the way he spoke, seeing us in preseason versus West Ham. I was like, wow, we with the same group of players look completely different, and that's within 6 weeks of this guy being here. And so I thought to myself, man, I can't wait for 6 months. Now we're at 6 months. I can't wait to see what we're like in 2 years' time. I can't wait to see what we look like after 3 more windows. And January is going to be that first of those 3. So again, we are very close to having a Ainge Postecoglou team. And once we have that, then we can actually look like what he wants us to look like. I think he's just making things work. And I would agree with you in the sense, like, let's not get over the top about him overperforming with a lackluster group of individuals. But the facts are, with a depleted squad, injuries, suspensions, etc., we've still been able to get some results out there. And I think that is a testament to what Ainge is building here as far as the there was a great comment here. Where is it? I want to bring it up because I thought that it was very poignant. It was that Ainge's Yes, David Shear says difference between Ainge and these teams is what Ainge is building is a culture, and that's what I'm starting to see: is players buying into a mindset and a thought process. And Alex, I sympathize with you and your stance because you're saying, "Hey, I'm seeing our fans be reactionary, in a sense." And to my point, like I feel like it's okay to be indifferent and to not be both feet in the pool yet. No, I think everyone's allowed to support however they want to support. What I would say is Newcastle's result and what they're doing with Eddie Howe is completely different than what we're not in a change of ownership now trying to build something for sustained success. We are the same owners still trying to build for we have some sustained success as far as like economics, but like we want to be able to compete again. So for me, I really feel like though, Alex, Newcastle's result doesn't make me feel any type of way about what may happen in the future for us because like that could happen to anybody. Big up Chippy with the super chat. Chippy's coming in with a super chat, says final comment of the night. Talking about Alex.
Bro, don't worry, bro. Just let him read it. Read it. He's made a super chat. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Well, out of respect for you, my guest, I don't.
I know you've got respect for me, bro. Don't worry about it, Bob. This is for you. Yeah. At the end of the day, I can take it. I know what I'm gonna get. I don't really care because as far as I'm concerned, yeah, I've got respect for you and I've got respect for definitely for Kuba, yeah, because he's my guy. Yeah, and he knows why, right? Because he's got a lot of respect for Alex, yeah. And by the way, Kuva's all for Ange, by the way. That's why I've got respect for him, yeah. So I do hear it from other people's point of view, by the way. Because when I speak to Kuva, and especially Smatic, by the way, big up to Smatic and Safi Kois, even Haz and Marlon, by the way, because I've got to give a shout out to them as well, and even Perchy, right, as well. Perchy and. Okay, Sava, I know you've got issues with Sava, but I do.
I don't have any issues with Sava.
But I like Sava. Okay, that's good.
No issues with Sava.
I've got shout out and Stelios as well, right? So I've got shout out to them as well, and Ellie as well, because Ellie's the Queen Ellie. Respect to them. So yeah, that's to say this as well. But Kuva is all for Postecoglou, right? And I know why he's doing it. He's explained it to me, and I respect it. But the thing is that I know personally, I know what I expect at the moment now, and I know I can't let it go until I see something. I cannot let it go, yeah. And until I see it, that's all I'm saying. I think the problem is with Tottenham fans is they see the word hate, and they focus on it, and that's it for me. But yeah, respect to the super chat. I'm got no issue. I've got no issue with it.
Big up Chippy. Chippy has hit us with some big donations tonight. Also hit really big on that Bournemouth game, so congrats on that again, Chippy. But Alex is a friend of mine. I do like him on channels because if anything, he is authentic, and that is what I like in a person. I like authenticity. So Alex, Mr. Box Office, whatever version you may get. It is an authentic version. So for me, that's just how I feel about it. I apologize to those of you in the chat that may or may not have liked it, but again, he provides a counterpoint and a thought process to which I do not hold or think of. So for me, in all situations, I like to accept all opinions because at the end of the day, I'm still going to make my own opinion. Ain't that right? You can't tell Alex, if I told Alex, you need to love Postecoglou, he's not going to wake up tomorrow and love Postecoglou. He's going to feel.
I'll even more hate him if someone told me. You already know.
I'm the same way.
Some idiot said what they said on your show, which was the reason why I didn't go mad at him and went Mr. Bots off for him because I have respect for you. That's the reason why I didn't do it. Yeah, because he said some very horrible things, and you know who I'm talking about. Yeah. He said something out of order, right? And Alex would have come up and said something back. But the thing is, though, I have respect for you. I had a lady on, the Queen Ellie, as well, so I don't go there, right? Because I've got a mum. Alex has got a mum at home, and I know how to speak to people respectfully. Yeah, and I have people respectfully that didn't need to see me going completely off on it. Let's be honest here, because it was out of order. But I have respect for you because it was your show and it was for you. So that's the reason why I didn't go off. Yeah, I went.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And that's it.
Yeah, I appreciate
that.
That's
all I'm
Big
saying.
up, Christoph. I also appreciate this super chat, my friend. Hits us with the £2 dono. Says ass anal. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Christoph. Thank you for that donation to the channel, my friend. Yeah, I mean, I guess in finality, oh, here we got another super chat. Ash, big up Ash, says, let's all hear Alex out. If we love Ainge, then it should withstand critique. And I love
Can I
that,
say
honestly.
something? Can I also say something? Big up Ash, by the way.
And that's why I think it doesn't offend me, Alex, when you come up here and you say things about a manager whom I love so much, because I'm like, hey, it's just a matter of time until you feel that, because I have so much hope and I know, for like, I just feel it inside that I know this is heading in a good direction. And so whether it's now or later, it doesn't really bother me, because I think it's going to happen eventually for you, for everybody, anyone who's a little bit like, oh, I want to see this work out before I'm 2 feet in. For me, my 2 feet been in here. Yeah. Hey, the pool always has room for another pair of feet. So to me, honestly, I like it. No one is above criticism. Look, whenever Pep Guardiola has a bad match, and this is what some regard as the best manager in the history of the sport, he still gets critiqued by City fans, rival fans, everybody. No one is immune to criticism. And I think sometimes when people love someone so much, they can get defensive. Like when someone says Romero's harsh, or excuse me, when they say, what are some of the really harsh adjectives they have for Romero? When they call him boneheaded and all this and other, I say, hey, hold that. He's a World Cup champion. But it's almost like I understand the notion where people are maybe upset with Alex because they're like, no, I love this guy, and you're now having an attack at him. But I don't think it's wrong to do that if anyone cared about how I felt about it. But Kuva, I've been talking a lot. Alex been talking a lot. Where do you see this as, like, Ainge? Are we allowed to just... I mean, I know how you feel, but in regards to kind of where the conversation has been tonight, where do you see it?
I think you're all bad people. He's the Messiah, and we are winning the double.
We're winning the double, you fools.
No, there's different ways of following your team, isn't there? You can still love your team and have varying opinions of it. For me, I've spent seasons looking at my team and hating what I've seen. I'm really depressed about it, really negative towards everything I was seeing, and I was happy to say it. Now, Ange has come in, and he's the kind of manager I've been crying out for several seasons now. I never wanted Mourinho, I never wanted Conte, certainly didn't want Nuno. So we got the attacking manager in that I have wanted. Now, that appeals to my faith, if you like, in what I want from my team. So no matter what happens this season, I am fully backing my manager. Even when he makes decisions I don't understand, I'm just going to say, look, I don't know he did, why he did that, but I have trust that he's done it for a good reason, and we will see it in the course of time. When Alex and I talk about this sort of stuff all the time, I totally understand his viewpoint. Alex is very much, he needs to see something to be able to believe in it. He is what you call a proper realist, because it has to happen now. It has to be tangible. He has to see the evidence right in front of him before he'll make a decision on something. And I get that. That's fine. Well, he's taken the stance, the anti-Ange stance, I think, just because of other people's attitude to him doing that. The more
my mom told me to learn Spanish in high school.
The more they double down. Yeah. So for me, it's I'm going into this fanatical fan kind of approach. The supporter, everything's rosy. I've just got my rose-tinted goggles on all season, no matter what. And I'm just going to roll with it because I know what I'm doing and I'm enjoying it. And I'm looking into the future. Same as you, Jacob. But I will never, I'll never go in on Alex about his views, because I totally understand where he's coming from as well. And I also understand people that are being negative and saying, we've seen all this before, this is going to go badly. I get all of that. I absolutely get all of that. And we've had 20 years of evidence of that. So no problem with anybody's opinion. All I'm going to say is go with what you feel and go with what makes you happy at the time. At the end of the day, we all want the same thing. So I think there's a lot of wiggle room we have. And we're picking enemies in the wrong places. I really don't like it when we're arguing amongst our own fan base, when you've got the likes of the Gooners and the Chavs down the road and enemy teams to go tribal on. That's what it should be for me. So I am going to be the stereotypical fanatical fan that will cheer no matter what. And if we get a consolation goal because we're 6-0 down, I'm going to cheer that anyway, just because the goal made me happy. That's
there you
it.
go. Yeah,
So
that's what it is,
bring
man. Let's
it
all
all
find
on,
out.
and we are still winning the double, obviously.
The double is on per Quez Ali and per Kuva, and that's enough for me. Totspurs, big up Totspurs says, big up Jacob and all. I get what Alex is saying about how, but I'm hoping that Ainge's experience at winning things and the mentality he brings will shine through. But of course, as Alex says, time will tell. And I do love that. I have a question starred. A few people have asked it, so I'm going to ask it to you, Alex. Football and boxing. I believe there was another person that in the chat that was asking, can you please ask Alex what he wants from Tottenham? Like, and I think I see it again as well.
This season.
I'm just intrigued to hear what Alex wants.
Well,
Sure, I'm long term, mate. Do both.
This season, I say just play good football this season. I've got no expectations this season. I said 8th. I still think 8th. I think by a good start at the moment, because the league's bang average at the moment, I think we can get 6th. I think we'll fall to 6th. I think, even though I'm saying what I'm saying at the moment, I think because the league is so bang average, there is a title charge at the moment. Which I can't believe I'm saying this at the moment. I've said it on my channel, Mr. Box Office TV as well, by the way. Yeah, we are on a title charge at the moment because the reason is because at the moment we are 6 points away from the top. When, let's be honest here, yes, we play great football, but we have not played that. We should be nowhere near, but the teams are not consistent enough, and it will come down to this later part of the season. Whoever can put together a winning run of 10 games will win the league. Now, for me, that is Man City, right? But it's all to play for, right? It's all to play for. Yeah, I don't want to. For me, it'd be great to see Tottenham win the league, but I don't think it's good for Tottenham long term. No, I'd rather have a steady growth, because if we get Champions League or do the best and win the league,
if we win the league, I'm shirtless.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying. Now, you know what? I would lap that up all day. But my point is, at the end of the day, I think winning the league from where we were last season, I think would be too much for us right now. Because how can you get better next season? How can you do better? And the problem with Tottenham is they do something first season, they achieve something, and then they can't do something better because the expectations are too high for them. And that's the problem I have with Tottenham at the moment. They don't graduate, and I think that's where Postecoglou has seen this, because he gets annoyed behind the scenes with certain people because he can see behind the scenes. Again, I'm defending Postecoglou when I don't even like him again, but he can see that there is not a winning mentality with this team, and that's why I reckon this guy is not going to be here for more than 2 years, because as soon as a top team comes for him, he's going to be off. I think.
There's already rumblings. United won him, Liverpool won him,
exactly,
et cetera. So it is interesting.
I think there's a lot. I think quickly. I think there's a lot of truth in what Alex says about the standard of the league this season. I am not seeing any team where I think, you know what, they're uncatchable. They're all dropping points. Even Liverpool, they've drawn, what, 6 of their games? That's a third of their games.
And they've only lost one, Kuva, but guess who it was too? Hey.
Even if we'd got a draw there, still the same deals going on. I don't see any team that's going to be pulling so far ahead, where there's several other teams that are in the chasing pack, that if they string 6 or 7 wins together, they are capable of overtaking somebody, even if they're at the top. Now, that being the case, we aren't a great side at the moment, but we're still in the mix. And I do think we're a side, when we have Maddison and Van der Ven back, that can string those 6 or 7 games together. We do that at the right time, when other people are just only needs a couple of draws. That's a 4-point gap you're closing. It's easily done. If you just keep getting string those wins together, time will run out. We are in the mix at the moment. Anybody that's up there with those within those sort of points range, and there's quite a few teams going for it. they're not out of it. I mean, of course, we're going to be unlikely. We're not exactly favourites, are we? We're the underdogs. No. But the only one you'd really say from history is likely to pull off those sort of unassailable streaks that have seen them to league titles. It's Liverpool and Man City. But this season, both of them don't look like doing that. Not back-to-back wins. Liverpool are unbeaten in a lot of games, but there's a lot of draws in there as well. Things are not firing perfectly for any team. Yeah, so it could be just one of these mad seasons where something does happen.
Let's go get it. Hey, if it's one of them Leicester-type seasons, let's go get it. Why the hell not? But big up David Shear with this super chat. Got another super chat after this one to get to. Y'all are absolutely blessing the stream today with the donation, so I do appreciate y'all doing that. Do make sure you are hitting a like. I refreshed like 5-10 minutes ago. I saw 14 likes away from 100. There's been over 130, 140 of y'all for the past 20 minutes or so. So surely, but don't call me Shirley, we can get those likes up over 100 on the stream. But David Shear says, us Aussies have grown up supporting Spurs, but we know Ainge, a class vet coach of our beloved Socceroos, took them to the Asian Cup and multiple World Cups. I've been called a clown before. So David Shear here saying, I don't care, they call me a clown again. Ainge Postecoglou can't take us to the promised land. You know what? I've been called a clown. I get made fun of for celebrating when we sign our players. By some of the biggest content creators out there. Shout out Lee Gunner.
Destiny Adoji. Oh, yes. Oh, Destiny Adoji Day. Hey. Idiots, man.
See, I get made fun of. Who cares? There was a Kuva and Paul, the Hotspur hippie. They were both like, bro, who cares? When I was like, yeah, you know, if I go out there and I say this and I'm wrong, like blah, blah, blah. Like, but what does it matter? What does it really matter? Like, if some gooner's like, Destiny, you doggy day, guess what? I got a clip out of it. So what it matters is that's hilarious content. So for me, I'm always just going to speak how I feel. And sometimes I think as a content creator, you leave yourself open for jokes and criticisms and such. But hey, David Shear, I embodied the same feelings there.
And what are we doing? We're a bunch of fans talking to other fans on YouTube. I mean, what's the worst that happens? My opinion could be wrong. I'll look out the window the next day. I'm pretty sure the sky won't be falling down. I'll be okay.
Yeah. You know, that's the great part is even if I'm wrong and I'm over the moon and over the top about Tottenham and I get clipped and made fun of, et cetera, at night, I still lay down with my beautiful wife. And in the morning, I wake up and I still am there with my beautiful wife. So as long as I keep those blessings in life, what someone says on the internet, no matter how many subscribers, really doesn't bother me. So that's just how I operate. But big up David Shear. Appreciate the super chat and the gifting. Adrian Chia with a super chat here says, Newcastle, a crystal ball to show second season, not so easy, which is embodying what Alex is saying. He's a little bit worried when it comes to next season and our success long term, because just look at what's going on with Newcastle there. I like that, Adrian.
I think
big up Adrian.
Newcastle are an interesting case study, if you like, at the moment, because we were all expecting when they got their new owners in, we were all thinking, oh, they're going to do a Man City, go out there and splurge like, 500 million on players. And they didn't do that. And we all respected that. We were all saying, no, that they're doing it a really sensible way. I'll quite follow that. But now we're seeing the drawback of actually doing that method and not getting in a massive squad of superstars. Because now when they are missing some of those key players, and for me, the two big ones they're missing at the moment are definitely Nick Pope and Sven Botman. They are not the same team without that.
Dan Burn got turned around by Chris Wood.
Yeah. So
I heard from some fans, Tottenham Hotspur fans, that Dan Burn, they'd rather Dan Burn in the squad than Christian Romero. But I ain't seen Christian Romero get turned around like that, like he was some big 7-foot tall ballerina. I ain't seen Romero do that personally. But I was told this summer that Dan Burn's a better defender. So respectively, they can hold them.
Dyer, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's for damn sure. But they said Romero specifically. I don't forget shit like that. I hear it. I just mentally, when it's like I was saying about Ainge, when you talk about Ainge, I feel the need to defend him. They're not immune to criticism. But when someone says Dan Burn's a better defender than Christian Romero, the first image I think of is when Kuti's kissing that World Cup trophy. Shout out Dan Burn. How many caps do you have for your national team? And then secondly, I think of all the just great defending that Romero does do. And then I instantly think of today, your eyes can deceive you for 6 to 12 matches and make you think something is a certain way, and then guess what? It just actually isn't that way. But big up Adrian Che, appreciate that super chat. Christoph Kavalitz with another super chat says he wants to win, but not with the winners. Come on, you Spurs.
What does he mean by that?
I think this means Ange Postecoglou's not trying to buy the big name players. I mean, there's this guy Roony Bahuchkuch, or it's in the name, Roony Bardghji, Bardghji, what, Roony. So this guy Roony.
I particularly like the way you're saying it because he's Swedish, isn't he?
I think he is. I don't know anything about him other than he plays for Copenhagen.
If he's Swedish, then you should be going with the Bardghji.
But I did have a tweet somewhere saying that Ange Postecoglou is very keen on getting that guy in the door. I'm seeing if I can find it right now. Oh, also it's Hugo Lloris's birthday. I know we forgot about him. That he's still a part of the team, but happy birthday, Hugo Lloris. Just obligatory. Oh, here
By
it is.
the way, I just wanted to say that you were talking about that defender that Tottenham Hotspur linked with, the French defender.
Jean-Claire, Tobideau.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get him. I don't think we're going to get him. I think what we're going to be doing is doing the data-led approach and get somebody similar to him. I think that's what they'll do. Someone more unknown. I think at the moment. The only thing I question at the moment, again, I don't know why this guy's still at a club, even though he has done well with the structure. Bardghji still is influencing signings. It looks like anyway. I don't know. That's what I'm hearing. If you believe what you believe, you know what I mean. Which I don't think he should be even at our club as far as I'm concerned. I'm sorry, you know what I mean. But yeah, I think what I'm saying is I think we're not going to go for this guy. I think what we'll do, we get somebody similar. You know what I mean? Similar, that is similar ilk, I think. And
like
use a data-led approach. You know what? It probably might be, but again, is it going to look at Fulham, are they willing to let him go? I think what Tottenham might do is look further afield, look at somebody similar to him, and might go for them. You see what I'm saying? And then see whether Ange would be happy with it or not. You know what I mean? Because that's the way we should be going with the data-led approach, I think.
Well, I just looked because I was like, wait, didn't Fulham play
like
today? How did Tosin do in that 3-0 packing? He was in defense. He was back there. Real quick, big up Chang, my man Chang. Says happy Boxing Day to the panel and all the viewers. Big up Chang, happy holidays, my friend. I hope you were doing well. I do appreciate you every single time for popping in and donating to the channel, my friend. Thank you so much. And then Christoph Kavalets with another super chat says, Ainge will not leave Tottenham. He is ours for life. It's the top tier, and we are what can win him all titles. He does not want a winning team. He makes one. Kuva, what do you think? Do you think when Liverpool's known to be his favorite club, when the Klopp era comes to an end, maybe say 2-3 years from now, and they come sniffing around Ange Postecoglou, who's hopefully won us a couple things here and there, do you think then, or maybe even as soon as in the summer, do you think any of these quote-unquote bigger clubs may come in for Ange Postecoglou?
If it's Liverpool, quite possibly, but I do think Klopp is going to be there for quite some time yet. I think he's kind of, I think he relishes the rebuild now, so he's going to want to claim another title there. I think, yeah, it's a difficult one with Ange because if he doesn't do well, we'll probably sack him anyway, and if he does really well, then other clubs are going to come sniffing because you put that combination of a really attacking, exciting football and being successful. That's dynamite. Which
and
club would
as well.
Manager like that? Yeah,
and personality as well.
Yeah,
and personality as well.
It's all there. He's the complete package. That's why he's the Messiah, and we're winning everything that season.
Talk to me nicely, Kuva. Talk to me nicely. Hypanoise says he supported Liverpool only because his mates supported Manchester United. Very, very true. Maravingan says all this Ainge leaving noise is all media driven because they can't stand the thought of Spurs doing well. They're desperate for us to fail. Honestly, English media loves to build you up into this oh, he's Ainge, he's taking Spursy away, and then fucking boom, we had 1 win in 6 matches, and they're like, he's fallen apart. Yet again, the Spurs curse gets them all, and it's just like they want to build you up just to watch you fall. And to me, that's why I'm not doing this when it comes to Ainge. I'm not doing this when we're on a high, we're on a high. When he's on a low, I'm on a low. I'm keeping it consistent. And kind of like what Kuva said, no matter what he does along this ride, I'm trusting Ainge. I'm trusting the progress. And yes, for what it's worth, I was one of those people who said I trust Antonio Conte as well. But that's because he is a serial winner. And I had hoped that he would help us win something much. To my not surprisement, he did not. It did not work out well, and it was all in flames by the time it was all over. We had Stellini, etc. But look, all of that is done and dusted. I've learned to love, forgive, and love again. And when it comes to Ainge, oh, I'm 2 feet in. I'm head over heels. I don't care if they clip me. I don't care if they make fun of me for trusting Ainge, trusting in Ainge. Trusting in something that you know, we can turn this around. And I've, you know, again, when I became a Tottenham fan, it wasn't because we were successful. It was because I felt something, and I feel something. I feel it every day when I'm like, damn, 2 more days till Ainge ball. 1 more day till Ainge, 24 hours till I get to see Ainge, Postecoglou, and Son and Romero and see what we can do. And it's that keeps me going. And if I gave all that away because of whatever, I think, you know, it just wouldn't be as much fun. But big up Christoph for this super chat. I hope he never leaves, and I hope you're right that he does stay for life. But I see Kuva's point of view. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. You don't do well here, we're gonna sack you. You do so well that we don't want to sack you. We want you forever.
That's my issue.
Someone else will come snooping in for him.
That's my issue. That's the problem I have with it. Tottenham Hotspur make statements when it's early, when we get a manager in, it's all rosy. But the problem I have with Tottenham is, like I said, with Arteta of Arsenal stuck with Arteta when they were 8th, and 5th. Look at them now. You know what I mean? And this is what I'm saying about Tottenham.
He's fraudulent, but I'm biased.
But but the point I'm making is they stuck with their manager when he went through a bad spell. You know, if that was Chelsea,
what I hope we do.
Boom,
that's what I hope we do.
Out the door, and they get another manager in.
They're already saying Poch out. Yeah, it's funny.
That's the point I'm making.
Hey, big up Poch, working it from the inside.
If Tottenham Hotspur are going to back this guy, you say, we'll stick with Ange. We are sticking with Ange. You put the statement out there, and you say, we're going to stick with Ange, hook by crook. What you do when you say that, you shut me up. You shut me up. Yeah, you shut the doubters up. Because at the moment, I'm sitting there saying, okay, we're waiting for that day. We're waiting. We're waiting until the fans say Ange out. We're waiting for and I actually want it to happen, because then it says to the board, okay, what are you going to do, board? Are you really now on the Ange train then? Are you really on the Ange train then? Right? Because if you do what you're going to do, what we're hearing with Newcastle at the moment, right, and get rid of Eddie Howe and do what many teams do, boards do now, you said, well, you didn't believe in the first place, didn't you? Then, so how can we believe? You know what I mean? Nothing against Ange. It's not his fault. This is not Ange's fault. This is 20 years of what we've seen before. You know what I mean? Because, like I said. I was on board with Martin Yole. I loved that Martin Yole, but they done what they did with him. I was definitely on board with Harry Redknapp. I loved him. Look what happened there. And the worst one was Pochettino. And I didn't even like Pochettino when he came in. I said, what is this guy? This guy got beaten by Sherwood. Tim Sherwood's useless. But he persuaded me. He convinced me. Yeah? And then they got in Mourinho. That just shut it down straight away for me. And I said, when Mourinho came in, I said, that was the biggest mistake Tottenham Hotspur made. And look who was correct. And I said on Chris Townend's show, and it's there in black and white, because it's there in the video.
Oh, you were on Chris
Because I had a video
show,
with him. I said it was the biggest mistake Tottenham Hotspur made. Yeah? That made Mr. Box, that got Mr. Alex on YouTube, the first YouTube video, Tottenham from Alex, and that's it. Yeah.
Well,
so I know
Adrian
what I'm
Chia.
talking about.
Big up Adrian Chia says, I bet Celtic fans thought Ainge was theirs forever also. I would think that deep down somewhere they knew they were having. I mean, he won a treble with them. He was doing all these great things with them. I think deep down they all knew some big boy was going to come sniffing in. And to a degree, I feel that same pressure, but we haven't won our treble yet. So let's win us a treble. Let's win us a few fancy pants things, and then we'll start looking at that. Because honestly, I do have a little bit of a scar when it comes to Real Madrid. I hate admitting when clubs are bigger, but when Gareth Bale and Luka Modric leave for Real Madrid, Eriksen's leaving for Inter, Kane's leaving for Bayern. There's sometimes I have to concede to the thought that maybe Tottenham aren't the biggest and the best. Well, maybe not the biggest, but I will still say the best because
I've been a Spurs fan all my life. It would be my dream to play for the club. But even I have to admit, if Real Madrid can win, I'm halfway to the airport with clothes hanging out of my suitcases. It's just they're just one of those legendary clubs that everybody would want to play for. I think just sheer history. All those European Cups that they're so highly thought of everywhere in the world. Always, they never drop from that pinnacle. It would be a dream for anybody playing for them. That's the exception. Otherwise, Spurs are all the way, of course. But yes, it's interesting. Some of the talking about Celtic. I think Celtic fans would have been realistic about Ange's future because they've seen their top players go south of the border on a regular basis over the years. I think they've got a pretty good acceptance of the way football works. There's more money in the Premier League than there is in the Scottish Premier League. So players and managers are going to find their way here if they're any good. Celtic have just been great at replacing them. That's all.
Yeah. Well, hey, big up Celtic. Keep doing your thing. Big up Christoph Kavalets with another super chat tonight. Says he loves underdogs and he will not leave for anyone high in the league. He wants to make winners. He will never leave for Real Madrid. He wants to beat them with us. You know, Christoph, I hope you are right. And if I had to choose, I'm going to say you're right because I would like to manifest that as well. But there is a piece of me inside that is a little bit scared when it comes to Real Madrid. Look, it's Real Madrid. Real Madrid and Barcelona are those clubs that a lot of people are just like, one day I will play for. One day when the lights are bright, I'll be able to play for them. And look,
Tottenham wants to change their mentality if Postecoglou is going to stay. As simple as that. Yeah, because
I want to throw a hypothetical. Go
on.
Say we win, okay, not in any amount of time specifically, but within his tenure before Real Madrid come knocking. They say, Ainge, we want you to leave Tottenham. What you've won with Tottenham is admirable. If you can win that with Tottenham, what the hell can you win with us kind of thing? Do you think if, say, he won a couple FA Cups, a league, I'm saying it softly so people don't fucking lose their minds when I say Ainge Postecoglou won a league and then they clip it up and say, Jacob said Ainge Postecoglou going to win the league. But if Ainge Postecoglou wins the league, if Ainge wins the league and a couple FA Cups, if he does do those things and he sees the foundations being laid and all we're doing is saying, you, Ainge and Lange, the dynamic duo, getting us our talent, getting it done. Paratici in the cells, he's in a courtroom bathroom on a damn iPhone mic, wheeling and dealing, getting us Vicario. If we could do that, then for me, I think maybe he would stay. But that is the hopeless romantic in me. Is there any chance, just a yes or no real quick, any chance that if he does have success with us, if he does see the building blocks, that we are all in on him and what he's doing and what we're doing, that he could stay? Or is it just a matter of, as a man, he needs to just keep progressing himself? Yes or no, you think he would stay?
I think no, because he left Celtic when he won a treble. That's the only thing at the moment. I'd like to be wrong on this. I have to say this. I like to be wrong because I do question him leaving Celtic when he was loved at the moment, yeah? And I'm not having a go at him. I can see his reasoning, but I look at him and I think he's his own man. It looks like his own man at the moment. By the way, like I said, I do like some traits because I do think there's so many things I agree with him. You know what I mean? There's certain things that he said I absolutely agree with him. And it's just weird because the thing is, again, it's just like I'm not on the train, but I can see his thought process. I can see it. Like the Chelsea game, I see it. I see that he's kept his word about the attacking football, and he said it from the very, very get-go. And I've said, "Yep, okay. You know what? I can't have a go at him. I can't have a go at him." The only thing I don't like about him at the moment, I didn't like his substitutions. I've not liked his substitutions recently. No, I'm sorry. You know, I didn't like the substitutions against the last game against Everton. I think that really hurt us. I've got to be honest. Putting Dyer on, I'm sorry. I'm getting to the point now. You know what you're getting with him now, and I can't forgive him for that anymore because you know what you're getting. But I think, yeah, to answer your question, I don't think he will do, but hopefully I am wrong. Yeah, because I you know, it'd be nice to have a manager for a long time, but I just think at the moment managers don't stay more than 3 years, 4 years. I don't well, more than 2 or 3 years. I think now. I just don't think they do. I know that you have Pep and Guardiola, Pep and Klopp for their teams, but I think they're an anomaly. I've got to be honest. That's just me at the moment. That's just my feelings.
Yeah,
But hopefully I am
fair.
wrong.
That's fair. Chippy O Napoli again with another super chat. Appreciate your generosity. Hey, I hope every weekend, my friend, you hit 500 and then I can host a show and you'll be in here blessing me with this. This one's for Alex. No one knows. Just ride the Angeloo. Sounds like a kangaroo themed amusement park ride, and hey, I'll stand in line twice for it because kangaroos are my favorite animal. But big up Chippy, appreciate the super chat, my friend. There is a question I saw come in regards to you were talking about his substitutions versus Everton. Kuva, I want to ask you, when it comes to, and then this is a critique that I've heard a few times from different fans, not just you, Alex. There's other content creators out there with big channels that have said, oh, when Ainge makes these substitutions, it makes me feel this way. Kuva, for you, when you've seen some of these substitutions, winning, losing, draw, irrespective of all that, when you see him make the substitutions, have you had that same feeling as other fans where you're like, maybe you should have done this? I mean, at one point we subbed off Brennan Johnson and brought in Skippy type of thing. And a lot of people said, oh, well, why Skip? If you're going to do that, bring on Lo Celso. And Lo Celso wasn't 100% fit at that time, was what I would say. But Kuva, what about for you? Have you been watching and at any point been like, why did he do that? So why is this who we're bringing on? I mean, if you saw the watch along, I was very much like, why is Eric Dyer coming onto the pitch? But
yeah, I mean, obviously there's going to be a lot of times where we will judge the quality of a player and think you can't bring off somebody like that and bring on, Skip for them or something like that. But I think sometimes it comes down to a much more basic level, and that is just fitness of the players. Sometimes they're exhausted, sometimes they're carrying a little injury. Sometimes you've just got to throw some fresh legs on just to run around. I mean, you saw Manchester United this evening. Terrible first half. Second half, fresh legs on. Got just totally different change of attitude towards the game. Run their socks off all of a sudden. It turns things around. And we have done that in some games this season. It doesn't always work. Never always works for any manager. Sometimes substitutes will backfire. But for every time I've seen it, I thought there's probably a reason there. And in a lot of cases, it's like the likes of Skip coming on. I think our midfield's gone flat. We're no longer running. We're no longer closing down. Bring off the likes of Lo Celso, bring on Skip made sense to me. Not because I think Skip's a great player. I think he's very limited. But if you need somebody to just go and terrier-like hang down the opposition, stop them being able to run through the midfield at will, he can do a job doing that. Yeah, Brennan Johnson, we know he's had injury problems, perhaps a fitness problem long term. We know Sonny's in the past been carrying injuries.
Brennan Johnson doesn't have a humanitarian problem, I know that much. Donated a lot of money this Christmas to feed a bunch of homeless and service people. So big up Brennan Johnson for that. Sorry, go ahead.
Absolutely. Shaq makes me straight away think of Leo from Mile High Spurs. He's always doing the charity work, isn't he? Out volunteering.
Yeah. Is he? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's mad.
Leo ain't told me nothing like that. I didn't know he's out there doing charity work.
He's badass at it. He's employee of the month doing volunteer work. Good stuff. Anyway, yeah, for some of it, a lot of the substitutions, it is just down to you've got to replace tired players sometimes. We're not the only club that's struggling with injuries this season. I think there's a lot of truth in this. The stopping and starting with VAR we've been talking about and all the reasons for it. And clubs are struggling. And you will have to rely more and more on that squad size. The fact we've had we go up to 5 substitutes nowadays instead of what it used to be in the past, 2 and before that 1. And I even remember hearing about when the substitutes weren't even a thing. But that's going back a long time now. So the game's evolved. Players get tired out. You've just got to recycle what you got sometimes. And somebody running around with a sort of 3 out of 10 ability is better sometimes than a 10 out of 10 ability that can barely walk anymore. Horses for courses. You've got to freshen things up sometimes, change something that's happening. Sometimes it might not be something that's obvious, but you could just got to roll the dice sometimes. We have not got a big squad. We all know this. When it comes to quality and depth, we're struggling. So you're going to get game time for the likes of Hill, Skip, whoever it is. Whether you rate them or not, they will feature at some point because they just have to. We're in that situation.
We are. And there's even rumors that we're going to be recalling Dane Scarlett in January from Ipswich because we're going to be missing so many players. And he ain't even getting games. Ipswich is second in the championship, and he's not even getting games. He's not even a part of that.
That makes no sense, by the way. That makes absolutely no sense, by the way. Because for me, I just think he just needs another loan. I don't think he's ready at all, to be honest with you.
He's not ready. He's not even ready for Ipswich. If you can't, like, we've seen how many players. Oliver Skip was in the team of the year in the championship, and he can't cut it at this level. If Dane Scarlett can not even barely get a game with Ipswich, he's nowhere near ready, in my opinion. But there's rumor Ipswich people have been talking about that we are in communication with them to recall Dane Scarlett because of this injury problem. And honestly,
the problem I have with this at the moment. What's the discussions with Postecoglou? This is again proving my point about what is the conversations here. You know what I mean? Because like I said before, I'd rather have had Dorrington come on or Ashley Phillips come on than Dyer came on. Yeah, because it's a build season. Yeah, right. That's what I was told. This is a build season, so I'd rather have the youngsters come on and learn their trade with Tottenham Hotspur rather than do that. But at the moment, it looks like to me, Postecoglou doesn't rate those youngsters at the moment. The under 21s rated, the Manchester United, in 1992. Youngsters 1992, according to Johnny from Tottenham on Tour, by the way. Yeah. So like I said, I just think at the moment, right. If you're going to bring him back, you got to play him. Yeah, there's none of this saying, "Oh well, he's too young, you can't do it." But if you're not going to play him, you got to buy a player. You know what I mean? Because the fact is, and the player has to compete for his place. And if he does well, right, that's what you need. If he does well, he keeps his place. You know what I mean? Because that's what Tottenham Hotspur need to do. And I think even Postecoglou said it as well. There was a question asked about Basuma and his red cards. He said, well, I'm not being funny. He has to learn. Because if somebody else takes his place and they do well, then he's got to fight for his place back then, doesn't he? You know what I mean? So that serves him right for getting the red card. You know what I mean? That serves him right. It's like the whole thing about people saying, oh, when Van der Ven's back, when Maddison's back. Well, that's not a squad. Because what happens is that a player that takes his place plays well, and then that player that's injured needs to fight for their place back. That's what happens in top teams. And even Postecoglou's saying that as well. Again, I'm defending the guy when I don't even like the guy again. You know what I mean? It's fascinating, isn't it, Kuva? It's fascinating, Jacob, isn't it? I'm defending the guy, and I'm not even on the train. You see what I'm saying? Because I see what he's talking about. He's saying the same thing I'm saying. It's fascinating.
That sounds to me like, Alex, you're ready to jump into the pool, my friend. And hey, at your own time, no pressure. The water's ready for you, my friend.
The difference is we can be told the pool's there, and we will just dive in. Alex needs to be shown the pool, dip his toe in it, check the water temperature's okay. Then he'll go.
Then he pulls his thumb, and then he's...
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it another hour, and then I'll see if I really will recheck the temperature and see what's really going on. Hey, at your own pace, my friend. I agree with David Shear. 6 months into his job, and we're fourth, and we're competing. We're how many points away from Arsenal, who are 4 years, 700 million into their project, and rightfully so. They've 4 years. We're 4 points off.
away as well.
4 points off. They're
After us having a complete meltdown and crisis.
Three managers last season. We had 3 managers last season. Conte, Stellini, and Mason. All right. This guy's been here 6 months.
That's the discussion from earlier, though, isn't it? That Alex brought up. This could be the season where you just don't need to be that good to win the league. You just need to string a few games together at some point, and you could take it.
It might be serendipitous timing, Kuva, when Madison, Van de Veen come back, Basuma's done being suspended, and then we look like the same 11. When we had our starting 11, we were top of the league with that starting 11.
Yeah.
I mean, if everyone's playing not like themselves, if City for some reason keeps stumbling, I hope they do, but they're getting De Bruyne and Holland and someone else. I think Doku's back, so they're getting their players back, and I expect them to start heating up their oven. But hey, you just never know. We've seen crazy things, right?
I think Arsenal got the advantage though, unfortunately, because everyone's scoring. I think goals mean a lot in the Premier League right now. You know what I mean? Regardless whatever you think about Arsenal, unfortunately, and someone put my attention to this, the goals that are shared quite massively with Arsenal at the moment. The only player that really is not playing really well is Martinelli. He's been a very big disappointment right now because
Richarlison has more goals than Martinelli and Gabriel Jesus.
That's shameful. That's shameful. The below average Emil Heskey is better than Martinelli at the moment. Well, I mean, what does that say to you? You know what I mean?
Mudryk has as many goals. I think he has more or as many as Martinelli right now. Mikhailo Mudryk. This guy was playing for Shakhtar Donetsk last year. What are we talking about?
I called Kulula reject as well, and he's got more goals than him as well. What does that say to you? You know what I mean? You know,
we're cooking with hot grease.
That's the point. That's the point I'm making. So, but to their credit, Arsenal, the goals have been shared, and that's where they might be at the advantage. With Man City at the moment, they're missing Haaland. Look how they're struggling at the moment. You know what I mean? You know. Goals mean points, and that's it. You know what I mean? Yeah?
And Chippy means business, because this is another super chat from Chippy. It says, have another 20. I don't know why. Hey, thank you, sir. You've been blessing the stream.
Big up, Chippy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, I hope you win 500 tomorrow on the next bets you place.
Adding to what Alex was saying there as well, you also look at the two teams that are currently in the first two positions in the league. Liverpool and Arsenal, what have they got in common? It's that goals against column. Everybody else is shipping goals in. It's been fun, but they're the ones that look really solid at the back still. Despite what people say about Virgil van Dijk, he is still a very good defender. And what's changed with Arsenal this season, as much as I hate it, them bringing Declan Rice in, yeah.
Spicy Højbjerg. It's Spicy Højbjerg on this channel.
Fluid going forward all the time now, but they are seeing a lot of those games out where it's scrappy and he does make the difference.
Yeah, you are right, but he is just a Spicy Højbjerg, Kuva.
Yeah, so let's just go for this. Yeah, he's a poor man's Højbjerg for sure.
No, I say Højbjerg is like a standard chicken sandwich with no mustard, no fixins. And I say Declan Rice is like the spicy version of Højbjerg. He's the same sandwich, just spicy with some lettuce, some mustard, and onions. And everyone's like, "Oh, look at this sandwich, bro! It's the same fucking thing."
Declan Rice. We just have to wait for the chicken to slide out because there's too much sauce on that.
They also got Saliba. They've also got Saliba. I have to big up Sava for this because Saliba, he says it so well. He's a Rolls Royce of the defender. Yeah, big up Football Heritage, by the way. Because I've had a really good text with him as well, by the way, and I have to thank him because he said Merry Christmas to me, so I have to say that to him as well because I didn't know whether you two had, but I big up to all of.
We were just texting yesterday saying Merry Christmas to each other.
Good. Because I love you all. by the way. But and make that clear, by the way. I love you all, Saba as well, you and Kuba. But yeah, he says a Rolls Royce of this defender, and he's absolutely spot on. And I'm sorry, I don't care what anybody says. He's better than Romero. Yeah, and the reason why I say he's better than Romero, I think Romero, for me, he just doesn't cut it in the certain moments for me, and he makes mistakes. I think it's mistakes that get to me right now. When it comes to the crunch, he's not calm. You see what I'm saying? I think, and I again, he needs more time. But I've seen this guy for quite a while now, and I'm talking about the goalkeeper, Vicario. I think Vicario's a better leader than him. He's better than Song. I think he's a fantastic goalkeeper right now. Right? I've watched him. I've seen him at the stadium as well, and he's a leader. He has a go at the defense. I saw him against Everton. I was there in my seat. I had a great seat and I was watching him having a go at Emerson, having a go at some of the defenders. He's underrated.
He was MVP. He was MVP last match. He won man of the match.
He was definitely my man of the match. And by the way, I said it on my channel, Mr. Box Office TV, the good, the bad, and the bang average top 5. Debut. Yeah?
Hold that.
And there's going to be more of that. Yeah, I promised you that. I gave you that. Yeah, it's going to be more of that because unfortunately Reactive is being boring now. I've made it a little bit more fun and interactive, and that's it. So go and like and subscribe, and that's it, by the way. Yeah. So that's it. And if
it's in the description of the video, by the way. 3 Spurs Boys, where you can find Kuva, and then Alex THFC193. You can find those in the description.
If you want funny time, you know you're gonna get it with my boy Bobby K. Yeah, and my boy Kuva, the funniest guy on YouTube every single time, and that's it. Yeah, and if you don't know, get to know. Kuva, just laugh, just work it, bruv. Just work it, bruv. Yeah, just work it. Yeah, don't just believe it and work it, bruv. Yeah, don't say no, say yes and believe it, bruv. Like you believe with Ange, like you always do. You know what I mean? Use that energy for what you do on YouTube. You know what I mean? That's what you do. You know what I mean? That's
speaking
YouTube
of
for
things being done on YouTube, David Shearer has gifted yet again another 5 memberships to United Spurs of America. So big up Phil P. Woo! Welcome to the family. Min Chi, Philly in NYC, Feared Alf. That's a fun name. And Bald Bean Counter. Welcome to the family. Dubs in the chat for Dave. Gifting out those memberships, making the family of United Spurs of America just that much bigger. And, of course, big up to everyone who has made a financial contribution. I will be shouting y'all out at the end of the show. It's actually kind of crazy. I have 18 starred messages, which is 18 different times people have blessed the chat today. So I do appreciate that very much. But look, this was a little bit of an entry, not a preview. I don't need to know formation scores. We'll do that tomorrow for the Brighton match. But real quick, let's talk a little bit about Brighton before we say goodbye. I want to know from y'all's perspective. Look, the last 3, they were winless. Lose, draw, lose is their last 3. Our last 3 is 3 straight green dubs. And you know how much I love my green dubs. Kuva, do you think this could be the best time to play Brighton or the worst time where they're looking to get a result in their 4th match after none?
Taking off the rose-tinted glasses for just a moment, I would say it's a difficult time for both clubs to play each other. Brighton are not in the best of form. They're missing a few players. We're still missing a few of our key players. It comes down to who defends the better, I think. Brighton are a fantastic football inside, but sometimes they lose their way. Sometimes they do get beaten heavily. If it's one of those type of performances they put in, no reason at all why you can't just come away with the points. But we also know they can turn on the style and they can dominate a team. If that sort of Brighton turns up, we've got a difficult game ahead. I'm not even going to call this one. I have no idea on a scoreline here. I'm going to go for 3-3 because it's going to be exciting that way. Of course we're going to win it. 5-3.
There we go. Come on. I was like, we could get another goal in there, can't we, Kuva? Big up David Shear donating because, says Jacob, it's because you're quality, positive vibes, Cobber. Thank you so much, David Shear. Appreciate that. Oh, big up Chippy with another 50-pounder. Says, please send this one to Ash, Colin, Adu, Jose, and Josh at Talking Ball. It's for them. Big up. Yeah, I will send that over to Colin, who runs Talking Ball. I'm going to text him right now. And
Big up Chippy, really generous.
Yeah, big up Chippy, man. Yeah, really
same
generous.
with David Shear as well, who've been supporting the channels really well.
There. Yep. Chippy, I just texted Colin, let him know that you super chatted for him. So I will link up with him and I'll get that sorted, Chippy. But big ups, man. Thank you so much for supporting this channel and Talking Ball. Do make sure you're subscribed to Colin with Talking Ball. Jose, Ash, he's got a lot of things moving and grooving over there. See Adrian Schroka over there all the time. Look, their family's getting big. He's a part of this family. So big up Chippy or Napoli. Being very generous to all these Spurs content creators. I appreciate that. And hey, big up Chippy, because at first, when Alex was talking, I saw you were saying you didn't want to hear it, you're out of here, and then now you're still here and you're still donating. So at least, yeah, again, these shows, I have my opinions, people have their opinions, and it's okay that we all throw them into a bowl and just start pulling out and seeing what we can come up with. So you know what, big up Chippy, appreciate you being so generous tonight. Hope you had a great holiday far.
We always manage to talk ourselves into a win, though, don't we, Jacob?
Yeah, we do. You said 3-3, which is probably a likely outcome, but I'm not having it. I'm going.
I'm liking the 5-3 more because I just looked at your face and I thought the man's disappointed.
I was. You said that you had us getting a draw, and I'm like, bro, this is not even. If tomorrow you're thinking a little bit more rational, I'd accept it. Well, this is the early prediction, Kuva. This is when I saw James Paratrooper in here. He said 12-1. I'll take a 12-1. Although that's very highly unlikely, I'll take it. But Alex, for you, how have you seen Brighton's run of form as of late? Obviously, winless in their last 3. Robert De Zerbi was the flavor of the year last year. No one could stop talking about Mr. De Zerbi, but now he's had a little bit of a bad run of things. Injuries haven't really helped him out either. Players leaving hasn't really helped him out either. But none of that, I frankly don't give a damn about any of that.
I think it just shows you again. I think it just shows you again that managers go through bad spells. And I actually totally agree with what Cooper's saying. I cannot call this game today on Thursday. I think goals are going to be very important. I think it's going to be a draw. I just think we haven't got enough goals in our team to win this game, I think. And I think Brighton will pull something out the bag, I think, for me. That's just my hunch at the moment, because I'm just not too sure at the moment. On Brighton, I just think that at the moment, I think they're just going through some growing pains at the moment. Again, they had no expectations last season, overachieved last season with the manager, and now look at them now, because now expectations now are there. Can they up the ante a little bit? No, you know what I mean, because there's only so much you can do when the expectations are up there. You see what I'm saying? And this is why I say what I say. You know what I mean? Because unfortunately, we're not in the era of players that get better. You don't hear anything about Matoma anymore, don't you? You know what I mean? You haven't heard anything about Matoma. Everyone was talking about Matoma, saying, "Oh, he's this, he's that, he's this." Look what's happened. You know what I mean?
No, that's fair.
And
big up Chippy. Another real quick. He just another 50. Look, Chippy, bro, you got to enjoy some of your winnings too. While I do appreciate, man, you're absolutely flattering me. Like the most heavily donated show, I think, on record for United Spurs of America. So big ups, man. First of all, I appreciate you. You're always here. Before you started super chatting tonight, you were always here, hitting the like, talking the talk with me. So I appreciate you. But Dub's in the chat right now for Chippy. Yo, there's 350 donations. That's not to mention the 5 and the 20. And I think there was another 20 earlier. Look, Chippy, I just hope you keep winning, because you know what? If you were a billionaire, the world would probably be a better place, because you'd actually give some of that money to the people who need it. So I appreciate that, my friend.
Your channel certainly would.
Hey,
you might get the intro.
Come on back.
song.
When you become a billionaire, come on back. You can sponsor the show, my friend. We'll work out some kind of
Pay for
sponsorship.
Jacob to not have this blurred camera at the start and the music's
Yeah. Oh, ooh, we'll get a multicam system. I'll be like, you know, like in the newsrooms, we're like, in breaking news, this in Kuva. But big up Chippy, my friend. Says, dude, I sold my biz. The nifty fisties are coin. I cashed in. Well, hey, cash in. Keep cashing in. You're talking very nicely to the channel, my friend. You absolutely flatter me. So thank you so much. Really, I'm speechless, my friend. I don't know what to say. I can only say thank you so many times before it's like, I need to link up with me on Twitter or something, man. I would love to send you some merch when we get that going. I've been saying that for about a year now that I want to get merch made. But I think right now the shirt idea I have, I'm just going to put like the United Spurs of America logo on the chest. And then on the back, I'm thinking about having it say, talk to me nicely. I think that'll be a nice little shirt. A little talk to me nicely shirt. But big up Chippy every single time for all the dubs, man. A lot of dubs in the chat tonight. I'm kind of at a loss for words. Don't really know what to say. I've been kind of blown away. But for me, in regards to answer my own question, I think Brighton. I hate the fucking Seagulls. I fucking hate Seagulls. I hope we take them little bats. Again, I love all animals. Shout out PETA. Don't try and come at me, PETA. Which is like, they're the animal advocates here in America, and they're like pretty crazy. But if you ever see a seagull on the West Coast, just grab that fucker and throw him into the ocean. He belongs as fish food, because seagulls are the rats of the air. They are the thieves of the West Coast. I would not trust a seagull with my life, let alone a sandwich. So when it comes to seagulls, I hope we stomp on their little necks and we just take the life out of them. Roberto De Zerbi, they said all these things last season about Roberto De Zerbi. And you know what? I ain't hearing them saying nothing lately. I ain't hearing them say nothing. Like some of their losses, Brighton specifically, some of their losses have been absolutely abysmal. Crystal Palace 1-1. Crystal Palace is not good. Yeah,
Crystal Palace are in trouble. Crystal Palace are in trouble this season. I think they made a massive mistake of sacking Patrick Vieira last season. I've got to be honest. I just think it's nothing against I have all respect for Roy Hodgson, but I think they've just gone backwards, unfortunately.
They're playing to stay up rather than progress now, aren't they?
They're not progressing at all.
And Roy Hodgson's already like, yeah, I'm done after this year. You can't fucking, I'm so done after this year. And I think when everyone knows that this guy's done, there's really no goal. What is Crystal Palace's goal? To finish fucking 10th? Like, I don't know what they're like. They just seem like they're running in place. But big up Min Chi says, are seagulls worse than pigeons? In my opinion, they are. I've had bad experiences with seagulls. I fucking hate seagulls. But that's just me personally. Some people might be nicer to seagulls. David Shear gifting a United Spurs of America membership. I think that's 11 gifts already. Big up John M in the chat. You've been gifted a membership from David Shear. Big up David Shear. Donna Colin, I think you need a cold shower.
Here's one for you, Jacob. Here's one for you then, Jacob. In a cage match, who wins, a kangaroo or 5 seagulls?
A kangaroo, 1000%. I put a kangaroo.
You're going to say seagulls, isn't it?
No, never. I would never
No,
say
I was going to say Cuba.
Big tag team going on there with the seagulls. Yeah, I reckon fully grown kangaroo. Yeah, maybe. I suppose if he gets one hit in, he's gonna do some damage. But them seagulls, they're, like you said, they're an absolute menace.
I can understand what you're saying there. To be honest.
I hate seagulls so much. Anytime I ever see a seagull, I'm punching. All right, I'm punching. I'm not being nice, lovey-dovey. I'm all lovey-dovey, love, immaculate vibes, this, that, and the other, until I see a seagull. Seagulls are the Eric Dyer of the animal species. You don't want them. They're there, but all they do is cause you trouble. Don't trust the seagulls. So the 2 matches out of the season where we play Brighton, particularly, I need these dubs more than ever. So for me, I say we go out there, put our foot on their neck, and don't stop till that fucking seagull can't fly anymore, the little bastard. You ever seen Finding Nemo as well? They're not... Look, I see someone said something about kangaroo burgers. This channel... We love kangaroos. They are our friends, not our food. Okay? So none of this kangaroo burger, I ain't having it. I ain't having it. I'm not going to listen to it. But these fucking seagulls, I know it ain't necessarily Brighton, but I see their logo, and it's the same logo as Hollister. Have you ever heard of Hollister? Anyone heard of Hollister? Is that not in the UK? So Hollister it's a clothing brand. Oh. It's a clothing brand. And here's their logo. Here, let me just show you guys. Does that look like a look at that logo? Hollister with the seagull. Yeah, does that look to you a little bit like, oh, I don't know, just a reverse image of that fucking seagull? So every time I see them, my wife is always like, oh, are y'all playing Hollister this weekend?
That's horrible.
Oh, are you playing Hollister?
That's horrible. That's horrible. I didn't like those. I didn't like that style, to be honest with you. I've got to be honest.
The Hollister style? With the pop collars and the cut-up jeans?
Nah, that's not for me.
Oh, it is in the UK. Yeah, seagulls are some thieves, bro. I don't like them. Big up Talking Beer. Smash the like, y'all.
Just a random bit of random bit of trivia. I hear Hollister, and I'm think of the old 80s, 90s British sci-fi comedy Red Dwarf. He was the captain of the Red Dwarf mining ship, Captain Hollister. That's just a random bit of trivia that nobody cares about unless they're my age.
Are you going back on your movies now, Coover?
Hey, always on movies. Yeah,
always movies.
Yeah.
I should caught up on movies today, but I didn't do that, unfortunately.
Look, long story short, fuck the seagulls. I hate them. Anyone who was here, I had about a 15-minute anecdotal rant about why I hate seagulls. The real quick elevator pitch: stole my sandwich when I was in California, having a very bad day, very bad couple weeks. Just wanted a sandwich and the waves. And guess what I got? Waves and my sandwich stolen. By who? A fucking seagull. And what happened when I was trying to, so I'm sitting there, the waves, I'm going to just tell the story real quick. The waves are flushing. I'm sitting there. I got my sandwich, an Italian meat sandwich. And I'm like, I can't wait. I got my Dr. Pepper right here. And I'm just sitting there on this big ass rock watching the waves. Such a melodic thing to do, just enjoying myself. I'm about to have this sandwich. I've taken one bite and I'm like, this sandwich is so good. Just there it goes. And in my reaction to getting fucking ambushed by this seagull, I knocked over my Dr. Pepper and it spilled there. So not only did I lose my sandwich, I lost my Dr. Pepper and my sense of hope that day. So fuck seagulls. Tottenham, I need these 3 points versus the seagulls. I don't know what a better way to say it. So
what sandwich was it, by the way?
It was an Italian meat, some local sub not Subway, but it was by was it not Montenegro Beach? It was somewhere in Southern California, one of those piers. God, I can't even think of the name of the pier, but there's this sandwich shop right next to you. You can get a meatball sub. I got the Italian meat sub. It's this Italian dude has subs on. Look, I wasn't hungry after that. Fuck those seagulls. They took everything. It took everything from me. My dignity, my pride, and my hope. That day it was gone. So
we're looking at some revenge movie in the making here, aren't we?
Yeah.
Big up, Rich. Big up, Jacob. I just joined and you're talking about the seagulls. Yeah. Rich was here for my seagull rant. Again.
You should clip that. You should clip that, Jacob. And think about the sandwich as well.
I think my story was more illustrative the first time around. Yeah, it was a gooner seagull, man. I don't fuck with these seagulls, bro. I'm telling you. Jacob taught you the lesson of fast food on the go. Or just I guess prison yard rules. Watch my shoulder. I didn't know I needed to keep an eye in the sky for potential predators swooping in for my fucking sandwich. Bastards. So
What
again,
about doing Tottenham news? You say Jacob and his seagulls
look,
versus his
the rude boy.
cockerels.
I'm not the only one. The rude boy sound says, Jacob, my wife and I were attacked by some seagulls for our thrasher fries. Look, these seagulls, they're not fucking friendly. You think because you put them on a logo, it's some, oh, look, this is a non-auspicious bird. No, seagulls are bastards. Don't trust a seagull. I would sooner trust a pigeon. A pigeon from New York, nonetheless. Those are nasty, and they're big. They're big pigeons in New York. They're fat. So yeah, man. Sorry to hear that you and your wife got attacked. Bro, that's what I'm saying. I don't fuck with seagulls. I'll punch them. I'll punch a seagull. Every time I see them and manta rays. Okay, so there are two animals I don't like. But manta rays is strictly because of my boy Steve Irwin, gone too soon, R.I.P. the crocodile hunter. Fuck manta rays for that. I know he would say, oh, Jacob, you can't say that, mate. Don't say that about the manta rays. Fuck manta rays. All right, that's for my boy Stevie. Yeah. And secondly, it's fuck seagulls, and that's on a personal jive because I don't like them. So there's a little bit of a.
I feel that way about chihuahuas. God,
why?
Oh God, those snarling little rat dogs that try and bite and yap at you constantly. I think the only thing they're good for is a bit of football practice. See if you can launch one into the trees. Can't help it. I just hate them.
My mom had 3 small dogs.
We love all animals, by the way. We love all animals.
Shout out Peter.
We just love all animals on Jacob America, South America. We all love animals. We all love animals.
Some animals we love to see flying through the air. Not seagulls, but definitely chihuahuas.
I cannot attest. My wife hates. I used to have a chihuahua when I met my wife when we were dating, and it was not a very friendly dog to my wife. Bitter because the dog lost a tooth, and my wife was like trying to check on the dog to make sure it was okay because I was at work. I was like, "What's wrong with your tooth?" I'm bitter, shitted, and then ran away. And yeah. She doesn't. She agrees with you. She doesn't like chihuahuas either. Big up David Shear says, "Help Jacob, Donna on the loose, man down, man down." Donna has been extra thirsty in the chat today, talking about hot showers with you, talking about
oh gosh, I don't know what to say on this, man. No, Donna Cullen, she's just infamous. Oh my gosh, she's just infamous, isn't she? Bloody
she
hell.
Cannot be stopped. Every channel she's on, she's after him. She's on your ass. And maybe
Merry Christmas, by the way. Merry Christmas.
You know what? If this was the real Donna Cullen, I'd actually have a bit more respect for him. Just imagine this sort of person being on the board at Spurs.
Oh gosh!
Big up David Shear. Donna, be nice. Help be nice. I think David Shear's married. But there you are. Shout out animals, but man, fuck seagulls is what I did say that. Shout out animals, shout out PETA, shout out all the shelters for abused animals. But you know where they don't make shelters for? Abused seagulls, because no one can abuse seagulls because they're fucking assholes. All right. Look, again, these are very testy times for me. When we play Brighton, it resurfaces a lot of bad feelings and emotions. Jacob, manta rays are good. A stingray took Steve Irwin. Oh wait. Okay, so whichever one took Steve Irwin, fuck that one. When I see them, any of them, I mean, technically, you're right. He would not like me feeling this way, but I do confuse the two. Whichever one killed Steve Irwin is the one I want to punch. I hate
Stingray. Yeah, and it's a puppet series as well, so I'd want to punch all of those puppets as well.
Oh, because manta rays don't have barbs. There we go. Joe Phillips, seagulls are a menace on the coast. There's an outside restaurant in my town where food's raided off plates while it's being delivered to the table. See, that's what I mean. They're fucking ungovernable, the bastards. They cannot be governed. You cannot keep them away. No amount of barbed wire, high frequency pitch noises. It doesn't matter what you do, okay? Seagulls are relentless. But again, fuck them. Over 200 stings Steve Irwin had. You tell me he got shanked 200 times by that one manta ray, and someone in here, or stingray, excuse me, not manta ray, stingray. Man, R.I.P. Steve, bro. Gone too soon.
I have
don't
to
like
say
him.
this, Jacob. Though I have to say this though. I think Hassan's just hilarious. Not that I know that much about him because, like I said before, Hassan just hasn't no he hasn't come to my door yet. You know what I mean? If you don't know Mr. Box Office, I'm not that bothered about you. Unfortunately, he hasn't really paid attention to Mr. Box Office. Hassan, Mo, not bothered about him because he ignored Mr. Box Office one time and he knows why I'm saying that, by the way. Yeah. And others as well that you've been on other shows as well. Staffy, I have huge respect for. Huge respect for. And when I say with huge respect for, the reason why is, yeah, I've had battles with him. I've had a fallout with him. But when you have fallouts with people, it comes a beautiful thing. You start to learn about the football guy. And he's a football man. He knows his football. He absolutely knows his football. By the way, big up. I love the fact that you had Staffy and Asthmatic on the same stream. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. One football guy with another football guy. Yeah. Because Asthmatic, he knows I love him. Yeah. Personally, and as a football YouTuber as well. Yeah. And Staffy, he knows his football. And he's a guy that gets criticized for his views on Ten Hag. Yeah. I know what he's like because he sticks by his views as well. Yeah. Right. So I just
Big
have
up
to say
Staffy.
that right now.
I've actually, when this show's done, I'm redirecting on over to Staffy. So if you want to find out who Alex is talking about, you can just hang tight and we'll send you that way shortly. As you can tell, the show is coming closer and closer to an end as we are diving into more and more my feelings about seagulls. But
the redirect needs to be hashtag Jacob hates seagulls, doesn't it?
Yeah, whenever you get on over to Staffy TV, say fuck seagulls in the chat. And I don't care if he knows what you're talking about or not, because fuck seagulls. We need to spread the good word. Adrian says, Jacob, mate, do they actually have seagulls in Texas? No, but every time I'm in the West Coast, you guarantee I'm punching a couple seagulls. You guarantee I'm doing the whole, look at this sandwich, motherfucker. Yeah. You thought I'm playing with these seagulls. Look, I have a sandwich. Who wants it? Oh, bam! In the grab him by the Anyway, look, I'm not going to delve too much further into how I'm going to treat these seagulls next time I see them. But it is on site. I don't fuck with seagulls.
I've got to say, California is the first place where I learned to eat prison style because of seagulls. You know, hunched over your food and just, yeah.
Yeah, hey, elbows up, side to side. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's how you gotta eat. But anyway, emus. That is crazy. Yeah, emus are crazy. They're big ass. But I think emus can tear they can crush a human skull with their fucking feet. Crazy. I wouldn't fuck with big birds.
Surely got to be an ostrich. They're more powerful than emus, I think.
Yeah, it might be. Might be an ostrich. Ostrich or emu. It's one of them. I don't trust either one because a bird the size of me, hell no. I don't even trust Big Bird from Sesame Street. Fuck him. I ain't never seen no big yellow bird. I don't trust him.
You can't say that. That's like children's dream. That's a child's dream. You're absolutely criticizing there. You're criticizing children's dreams there, like in the 90s.
No, I'm with Jacob. That's another creepy one I'd launch into the trees.
You can't say that's a child's dream in the 90s. Like that's children's, 90s babies' dreams and no, I'll say that again. That sounds a bit wrong, actually. Sorry about that. Yeah, that was my. Well, I used to watch Sesame Street. Well, Alex used to watch Sesame Street when he was young. Let's just say that. You know what I mean? He keeps on going on about to me. I don't know why. You know what I mean? Because I'm not really interested. You know what I mean? But he keeps on going on about it. It was their child's dream. You know what I mean?
I think, to be fair, if Sesame Street reran at the moment and the special guest was Mr. Box Office, I'd watch that.
Homeless guy living in a garbage can. No wonder we are the way we are. Shout out Oscar the Grouch. And the Cookie Monster. Honestly, the Cookie Monster, I've never felt so in tune with a character before of the puppet persuasion, because the Cookie Monster embodies basically how I feel inside. Just give me more cookies. But big up everybody. Yep, we are ending the show. I will be redirecting over to Staffy TV, so go ahead and like and subscribe over there, or tell them, haha, United, hold that. But if you want to honor me and my legacy, say fuck the Seagulls. And I don't care if he knows what you're talking about, because fuck Seagulls. But before I say goodbye, let me say big up to Alex with Mr. Box Office TV. Big up to Kuva with 3 Spurs Boys. Both links are in the description of this video. So if you are live or on playback, make sure you go like and subscribe to those channels. And before I say goodbye, this is a long list, and I have to shout out everyone for the super chats today, because y'all have been absolutely immaculate tonight. Chippy with 1. That's 2 for Chippy. Then we got Tracy coming in. That's 3 for Chippy. David Shear. Kuva, I may need you to hold up numbers. So that's 1. That's technically 5 gifted. So that's 5 gifts from David Shear. 4 for Chippy. Then we got Christoph with 1. Ash with another. David Shear with, I don't even know how to count this. Is that 1 or is that now 6 for David Shear? Adrian Shia. Christoph with 2. Chang with his 1. Christoph with 3. Adrian Shia with 3. Christoph with 4. Chippy with 5 or 6, 7 now with Chippy, 8 and 9 with Chippy, and then 2 David Shears and a super chat from David Shears. Look, y'all been blessed. Look at all them fucking colors, man. We out here looking like a bag of Skittles. That's because y'all have been so immaculate and so generous tonight. So thank you so much.
I just need to give a shout out to a few people as well, right? In the chat. One's Ash, right? I think she needs to come on the show. She needs to come on the show.
Yeah, big up Ash B.
All day,
I've been telling her, DM me, let me get you on the show. She follows me on Twitter now. Ash, DM, let's get one set up.
Also, even though she hasn't agreed with me before, right, but she's been very supportive, and I have to acknowledge this, right, and respect to her as well. Ren, another one as well. Yeah,
hey, yeah, big up Ren. Yeah,
big supporter for the channels as well, especially Brian. Big up Brian, by the way, from Tottenham on tour. By the way, support every single time for that guy. Yeah, respect to him because he knows Alex. Yeah, and that's it. That's what I need to say, and that's it. And also Chippy, bro, you can have a go at me all day long, but respect to you. You know what I mean? You've apologized and respect to you, mate. You know what I mean? I don't really care. I mean, I'm in mind if you have a go at me, because at the end of the day, it's football. At the end of the day, it's just my opinion on football, and that's it. But I just want to give that shout out to those people, and that's it really for me.
And to Scott M for bringing Christmas cheer as always.
Big up to Scott M. I think Scott M technically was the first ever Patreon member of the show. So big up Scott M, the first ever person to donate money to the channel. So, so big up to them as well for that. I don't remember what I was saying, but Kuva, do you have any shout outs, or you want to tell people where they can find you next?
I can't think properly anyway, mate. I'm still hungover. I'll just be on when this happens, probably. But I don't know when Ben's doing some more broadcasts from the coffee shop. It's Christmas, mate. I'm YouTube somewhere. That'll be where I am.
There it is. YouTube somewhere. More specifically, 3 Spurs Boys. Make sure you go and subscribe there. But that's going to do it here for the show. We are on over 2 hours here, and we've had about 150 of y'all for the majority of the show. So big up to every single one of you who have been chiming in, hitting a like, and doing the call of booty, which the call of booty here is very simple. Hit a like, hit a subscribe. Those are free. Partake in the poll. I'm going to end the poll right now. 159 votes tonight, Kuva. 159 votes. 46% says immaculate vibes always. Plus, add 30% to that. 76% saying too blessed to be stressed. So love to see that. 17% says I've been better, but we never stop. And 7% says not great and could use some hugs. Hey, I hope this show has brought you a little bit of football talk, a little bit of fun. That's what it's all about here, and more merriment. So big up to everyone in the chat who voted. I'm ending that poll right now, and I'm going to hit a refresh on the show to see how many likes we have on it. 125. Big up. We got over 125. That's pretty good. That's pretty good on a live show. So big up everyone who did hit that like. It is free.
Please like the stream. You know what I mean? For Spurs, United Spurs in America. For Jacob, yeah, Jacob, who gives you immaculate vibes every single night for you guys, and that's it. You know what I mean? He obviously gets to the respects everyone in the fan base, and that's it. And he does it every single night for you, and that's it. So if you can like and subscribe to him, and that's it, yeah, because it's not easy to do what he's doing, and that's it, yeah, and get to know that as well. And then the Professor of Truth and Entertainment acknowledges him, the main event, the Professor of Truth and Entertainment, the Mr. Box Office, and then you need to get to know and got to know him already, and that's it, and that's it. And like I said, Spurs' nightmare, and Jacob and Kuva's guilty pleasure, and that's it. And that's all I need to say.
There
And
it
that's
is.
it. Back to you, Jacob. I'm done.
Big up, Alex. Appreciate you always being here, my friend. You know you're always welcome here. Kuva, as always, what a fucking great show. And again, hopefully I don't stumble the next intro and you join anyway. That's what I'm hoping for. That's my target goal for the next show, Kuva.
I like it. We had the underwater intro and talked about stingrays and manta rays. So yeah, it's themed.
Fuck stingrays. Manta rays are cool. Seagulls can catch these hands every single time. But look, that's going to do it for the show, y'all. I do appreciate it. Again, if you haven't hit a like or subscribe, please do on the way out. If not, hang tight. I will send you on over to Staffy TV if you want a little bit more content. I do a weekly show over there called American Waffle, where we just go out there and I just talk shit to them and I just call them fucking frauds, and a lot of fun. Basically, I treat them as they are live virtual seagulls, and all my words are the only way I can harm them. So a lot of fun over there. And if not, just go in the chat and say, fuck seagulls, and then hit a like and dip out and go do your own thing. But until then, look, fantastic show, y'all. Had such a fun time. My wife's probably like, you said you weren't going to do more than 2 hours, but yet here we are, 2 hours and 18 minutes into a show. I did do more than 2 hours, honey. I'm sorry. But we move. But big up everyone in the chat again. Shout out to Chippy and everyone spreading all those loves and super chats, and David Shear for the donations, and everyone. I know I'm missing a bunch, but look, y'all, I do appreciate that. Just a harmless potato in here. Member for a month, hitting a thumbs up. Big up, just a harmless potato. So big up. And have a great rest of your evening. Make sure you go on over to Staffy TV. Say he's a fraud and fuck the seagulls. But until next time, folks, as always, y'all know the vibes. Stay blessed. Stay fresh. Up the lads. And come on, you Spurs.
United Spurs of America, with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.
Stop playing with my fucking name. I'll drill y'all. Stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it.